What is up?
Yeah, see, I could let y'all up on this account because I got full mods. On the other one, I couldn't get y'all up. It
Man,
was this
that
backup
lady
account.
was, hey, that lady was really taking the scriptures and twisting it, huh?
Oh my goodness, bro. She literally reading verbatim stuff and she's like completely not seeing it. Like he literally said, "My Lord, my God," and she's acting like he said, "Oh, my Lord, my God, it's
And
G."
then, and for someone who's been reading the Bible for 30 years, yet she doesn't know that Jesus is the last Adam.
It says it in the
Oh,
Bible. It clearly
no.
says it. So, yeah,
Thank you
she
for
was.
throwing me that verse because I was going to look it up, but it was
Oh
a lot
yeah.
easier
As soon
when
as
you
she
when
said
you
that, I
send
was
it
like,
to me.
"Oh
It's
no, I
fast.
got."
It's easier.
Yeah, I had that one on deck, bro. I was like, nah, bro, you can't say that
Well,
because
they
that's
don't understand the concept of the garden when God created man in his image and his likeness. That was Adam, and then of course the seed was us, and then here comes Jesus in the likeness and image of God, which is perfection again. You know, they want to, I don't know, they want to insert, or I think she just married a Muslim, and
yeah,
you
she did
know,
a Shia. But the thing is that the foundation of Christianity is Jesus, obviously being God, number one, but number two, being the last Adam and what he did. And if you don't understand what happened in the garden, if you don't understand that Jesus, his body was made from the heart of God, just like Adam was, then there is
exactly.
no point in having a conversation, bro. Like in the words of Trot. In the words of the Trotster,
Move
bro, you
forward.
gotta learn. You gotta learn 1 + 1 = 2 before we start to even multiply at this point. Like, there's
Exactly.
no
Or go
point in
into
having this conversation.
algebra. Like he says, if you don't know your multiplications, why are we gonna bother with algebra? But anyway, it is what it is. Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, America.
What's up? What's up? Shalom.
Morning. It is morning.
It is a new
Good morning.
day.
5:45 a.m. my time.
A new day.
Yeah.
A new day, a new song, a
Y'all
new
gotta go to Texas Roadhouse. Hey, I guarantee you guys will have a blast. Oh,
yeah,
those rolls are so good. I
we've
had
been
like four
there.
batches. Man, I got fat, dude. I think I gained like a whole 5 pounds or something, dude. It's crazy. I gotta cut me some more steak. Anyways, what's up with everybody in the chat? Good morning. Good morning. Shalom alaikum. Well, the Lord bless you and keep you. Oh man. What's up, CJ? What's up, Dre? What's up, Jesse? What's up, Trot? Good morning, Hulk. Hulk, how are you, sir? Sister Shelly, what's up?
Good morning, big dog. Good morning, bro. I got this thing I gotta go to, bro. I don't know if you guys seen this, but this weekend I was reading through Chronicles through the Begottens, and I discovered something that I never knew before. So hopefully,
Mm.
try to circle around with us on that one. Um, but I think it was Saturday night. I was like, let me just go through the Chronicles, bro. And I just started. So I was listening to the Chronicles in my bed, like I was going to bed, but I put my earphones on, and I was like, I'm just gonna listen. And I was just listening, listening, listening. And there was a couple of things that caught my ear. I had to jump out the bed and be like, oh, let me highlight this, let me highlight that. And now I'm like, man, I can't wait till Trot comes out the shower so he can talk to us.
Yeah, you know what? I was going through Leviticus, the anointing. Ooh, I said that's a good one for us
Oh
to go
yeah,
over
I was
also.
going through Leviticus the
Man,
other day, and I was messing
ooh,
with Trot. I was like, Trot, I need you to help me out on X, Y, and Z. And he's like, oh no, nah, Bubba, I can't. You got to look at that one yourself. So he got me still. It's been 4 weeks, and I can't figure it
it's
out yet.
it's it's the anointed one in Leviticus 6:20, and I love in Exodus where God tells Moses to um in Leviticus 8:10 where God tells Moses to anoint the temple. Ooh, that's a good one. Why did he tell
Question
him?
was, Jesse, was why did he separate kidneys? Why did he
Ooh.
separate certain parts of the body? And that's when I was like, Trot, I need you to throw me an alley oop. He's like, I can't. If I throw you an alley oop, I'm gonna give you the answer. And I'm like, oh my God, bro. And I've been driving myself crazy for that.
And then Exodus 40:15 says the everlasting anointing, because the word Christ means anointed. So I said, wait a minute, let's dig into this anointed. And because a lot of times I said I'm gonna find some beautiful foreshadows in there. And I wrote these verses down. I said, we got to go over this anointing of the temple, the
Yeah.
everlasting anointed, and the anointed one. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm writing my little
Um,
notes down because you know how Trot says, bring the address, bring the address.
Wow, I see you sound bitter there. You sound a little bitter right now, bro.
No, no, that's not bitter. That's just being facetious. That's just being facetious.
oh wow.
Yeah, women call it facetious, but we know the truth as men. That's called being bitter.
Yeah.
Bring
Man,
the address. So I wrote them
my
down. I said, well, we don't have to do them, today, but at least we have some stuff to go over, because a lot of people this weekend, I heard people not understanding what the meaning of Christ. Why is he called the Christ? We know it's anointed one, but what does that anointing mean?
Jesse, I saw Benny cooking today, this weekend, boy. I didn't know
Ooh,
Benny could cook like that, boy.
Benny can
Benny was chef.
cook.
Hey, listen, Chef Benny was getting it in, bro. I was throwing him gifts. I was
Chef
like, yo, this
Benny
dude
can
is
cook.
cooking.
Benny,
Straight
Chef
up, bro.
Benny, Chef
Bro,
Benny be
Benny
cooking
Benny
with
was
with
cooking,
with
bro.
with grace, and he does it with so much grace. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he was cooking. I was like, I need to start a live with Benny just so we can cook
Oh,
all these heretics, bro. Like a
Benny
straight.
can cook. Benny can cook big time.
Yeah. We need to do a live. I'm gonna open up live one of these afternoons, and when you are available, just to cook, bro.
You get joy. Call me in, man. I want to be part of that cooking session.
Oh,
oh
100%.
man.
We're making filet mignon, boy, out of heretics.
And you know what's so
Man, what y'all
beautiful?
cooking? What y'all
We're
cooking?
cooking the
Hold
word
on.
of God, man. We're just all we're doing is just bringing them the gospel. Just
Try,
bring
try,
them the
try, try,
gospel.
try, 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 try. I got a verse we have to go over, bro. You gotta break this down for me, bro.
Y'all. Oh,
I've been
Got to
reading. Well,
break
it's not
down
really a
well.
the
breakdown, but
anointed
it's just
one.
like I was going through the Chronicles, bro. Bro, it said
Uh-oh.
that correct me if I'm wrong, but it said that Abraham had 3 kids, bro. One from a concubine that nobody ever talks about. What the heck is that about?
Exactly.
Oh, I don't know. Where's it at? Bring the verse.
Oh, here we go, Jesse. Go ahead, do it, Jesse. Do his voice, mock him. Go ahead, be facetious real
Frank,
quick.
Trot says, Trot, I've been doing my studies and
What?
I've been writing, because a lot of people don't know or don't understand the Christ, understand the anointed one. So I started doing a little research, and I would like to go over when we have some time in Leviticus
Sound
6:20.
like dogs fighting or something. What was that?
I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, my dogs was fighting, bro.
In Leviticus 6:20, it
Oh
says
yeah.
the anointed one. In Exodus 40:15, it was the
Okay.
everlasting anointing. And then God tells Moses in Leviticus 8:10, anoint the temple. So I would love to be able to go, if we have a moment, I don't know, today or tomorrow, whenever, go over what is the anointed one? What's the shadow? Why was God telling Moses from the beginning to anoint? What's, how we see the shadow of Jesus Christ? Because people say, well, he's the Christ. It means savior. Yeah, but there's a reason for his salvation through that name. There's an anointing that's a special anointing that could only be through him. And we could see it in these verses, and I thought it was beautiful, especially when he says to anoint the
Yeah.
temple. Oh man, when I was
Yeah.
reading that, I was like, woo, I could just see him. It's amazing. Foreshadow
Yeah, because
anointing.
because that's what, right? That's what Christ, right? Christ means,
Exactly.
the Messiah, right? The anointed one.
Mm.
But you know, even the Bible tells us that that Jesus used his blood to sprinkle heaven.
Oh, I know
so,
that is so good. That
so
is so good.
and
You know where that comes
when
from,
you,
right? When you go to Genesis, and Freddie shared that with us this weekend. He just blew me. Our brother Freddie, God is, man, he blew me out of the water. And because I've been searching from the foundation of time, from the beginning of time. You know, he was slain, and Freddie jumped up, and I've been, meditating upon that verse. Freddie jumped up, and the Lord was showing him how he separated the darkness from the light, this and that, and you could see the shedding of that blood that you're talking about in heaven back then. And I was like, whoa, it just blew me out. I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was just like, this is amazing how the Lord is revealing his word to us.
Hey,
yeah,
Trot, you
yeah.
know, I'm sure you knew this. Here's the cook. Chef Benny is here, bro. Benny was cooking.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Trop,
What's up?
I went over to
Hey,
Nebuchadnezzar again, and I did like a deep study, like on the deep word study, going back to the roots. It's unbelievable what I saw. It's just unbelievable. I
yeah,
cannot believe it.
yeah,
And then
yeah. I know.
in Jeremiah, he was talking about feeding. He was like, I'm going to send pastors, and they're going to feed you with knowledge and understanding.
Yeah,
And then, like when you eat the cud in Deuteronomy, that word "eat," when you take it back to the root, it's to perceive. I was like, oh man, this is blowing my mind.
yeah.
It is so crazy. But just the part with Nebuchadnezzar, like the beast, I did the root study on that, and it's to revive. So he was
Oh
sent
yeah.
to,
He's
yeah, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
the field was like a swift air coming through, blowing away the chaff. That's what the field
yeah,
rooted back
yeah,
to. I was blown away, man. And then on that, another root for that eat is to to be dipped, to be wet and dipped, and it said as in like dye, coloring a colorful dye. And I was just thinking about
yeah,
the crimson worm. I was like, wow, this is mind blowing, bro.
Just
You
gonna say
cannot
the
deny this
crimson
yeah.
anymore.
worm, the crimson worm. That's why David in the Psalms, he says, I'm like a worm. Woo.
Yeah, and that's why Jesus said, "Go and make disciples." He literally said, "Go make learners." That's what he said. So he didn't say, "Go find someone and teach them everything." That's not what he said. He said, "Go make learners, learners of the Spirit." That's what he's saying. And so, you know, once a person once they learn how to receive from the Spirit themselves, then that's when the person is able to move from faith to faith, from one thing to another,
Mm.
from one thing to another, nonstop.
And
It's nonstop.
you have
Matter
all
matter of
these
fact,
people giving fruits now. You have all these fruits with all this beautiful seed in it, which is Christ Jesus, and everybody. And we're just sharing. We're just throwing those fruits out. Like, take it, take it.
yeah, and it can't be denied at the point where there's multiple people uh, being revived, eyes being open, something being seen that's never been seen before. Ears, now when you read, you can hear it. It's like a melody. You hear this melody, but yet it's not a physical hearing, but yet it's there. You can hear it. And you're like, why can't you hear? Why
It's
don't you see this?
amazing.
Why can't you hear this? And so, and then so it comes down to the same thing that it always has been. It's going to come down to the same thing. And it'll never change ever. So when the Bible talks about the carnal mind mocking the spirit, it'll never stop ever, because the carnal mind thinks it's about they think it's about getting educated. So they go buy all the books. They go to all the schools, and there may be some schools or some books that mention something like this, but it's not constant. And because it's not constant, they think you're making it up. and you're crazy. And they may not use those words, but that's what they're saying, because the mockery is going to happen. The carnal mind does not know how to mock what you're claiming you see. It does not know how not to mock that. It has to. It has no choice because it hates it. It's totally against it. Complete opposite. And so this is why atheists say they only use logic. This is why Islamic believers say, I have a brain. God gave me a brain. I use my brain. And what you're saying, that's not true. I use my brain. So the carnal mind is all about logic and brain. And I try to tell people God's not logical at all. And so, about a month ago or 2-3 weeks ago, I had an atheist hit me up in my DMs and wanted to know why I said God's not logical. And I said, well, prove to me he is. Prove to me he's logical. And he's like, oh, I love it. He goes, hey, he said, can you go to one of my videos and say that God's not logical so I can pin it? I want to pin your comment, like the very top comment on my video. And what he's saying is, so basically what he's saying is that when a Christian says that God's not logical, they like that, right? Because what you're saying is God's not smart. He's stupid. That's what they hear you say. They hear you saying, since God's not logical, that he makes no sense. He's stupid. They're like, yes, that's what we're saying. God's not logical. So we agree, right? So, but we're both hearing two different things. They hear the type of logic, like man's wisdom. That's what they hear, that you're saying God's not, but they don't believe God's real anyway. So all they're hearing you say is what you believe is stupid. That's all they hear you say. But when you tell the truth, God's not logical at all. And the reason why it makes 100% sense. And again, you can't even say that, right? Because God don't make sense. And the reason why I say God don't make sense is because that word sense, we use that a lot for 5 senses, right? That's how we use that word sense. So we can't even really say that God makes sense, but we say that phrase to at least get someone to understand what we're saying. So the truth is, God doesn't make sense. God's not logical.
We can say God.
You can say he made sense. Yeah. But when it comes to the word sense and when it comes to the word logical, the truth is you can't, as far as the way he sees and the way he thinks, it doesn't make sense in this world. And, so when we say those words, people, or let me back up and just say it this way. If we try to explain God using logic or trying to make him make sense, like people who are carnally minded, what you're saying is not logical and it doesn't make sense. If it made sense, our 5 senses would be able to perceive it. We can't see, touch, smell, hear, feel God the way that you can in things in this world. It's just not true, 100%. So, but yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying. And so more and more, clearly, more and more people are, in our, if you want to say, circle of, 10,000 people or whatever, however you want to say it, there's just going to be more and more of it because the word brings people alive because it's truth alone. It doesn't need us. It is true. All we're doing is pointing the finger to what is true. Just like the shadows in the Old Testament, they point the finger. But if you can't see the finger, you don't know what directions it's pointing. And people who can see and hear, they can see the finger where it's pointing. And all we're doing is being, look where the finger is pointing. And so once they can see where the finger is pointing, they have to lie to themselves. Like what Benny just said a while ago, man, there's no denying this. Okay, but this is what's crazy. There are going to be people who do deny it. But the only way that they deny it, they have to say that what they're seeing, they're not seeing. Can you imagine just being somewhere and I don't know, it could be something small as a dog walking up to you in a parking lot and you're like, okay, that dog's not there. I'm not saying because you didn't take it home. I'm saying you literally tell yourself, no, that dog was there. I never saw that dog. That's how easy it is. You did see it, but for whatever the reason is, and everybody has their own reason, and we know what the real reason is, right? The belly. The people like to worship the belly. On one of the videos, I can't remember the date. It was probably 4 or 5 days ago. One of the like titles, because on some of the YouTube videos, there's like in the title, there's like 4 or 5. I don't want to say titles, but like topics that we discussed. One of them, after listening to it, I started laughing. One of them is stop. What is it? I think it's stop worshiping your belly. I'll look at it here in a minute, but it's better than that. It's funny though, the way I worded it. Oh no, I put stop worshiping your feelings is what I did. I changed the verbiage from belly to feelings, but again, it's still talking about the belly, but people worship their feelings. That's why Moses went and cried to God and said, that, they're coming after us. You can just tell, and God's like, well, why criest thou unto me? Like, why are you crying to me? It's really, man, I'm telling you, when that hit me, so many years ago, I just was so confused on why Moses said that to him, because I have been taught for such a long time that it's okay to worry and it's okay to cry and all those things are okay, but they have their place. It's not okay to cry for everything. It's not okay to worry and also it's not okay to be okay with the idea that it's okay to worry. I mean, it's so sad, but you can get to a point where worrying, that type of lifestyle, is so normal to you that when people don't act like that, something's wrong with them. And we lie and we say things like, oh no, but it's good to cry. You have to cry every once in a while. I mean, you got to let it out. And I tell you 100%, there are times to discuss things. There are times to write things in a diary. There are times for that. But I tell you, not everything is for that, because the more you cry, if you're not careful, your flesh is going to want to do it again. You have to understand, the more you act that way, your flesh is going to get hungry and it's going to want to do it again. And so if you train yourself to believe that all crying is good, if you train yourself to believe that way, then that means when someone comes around and says, hey, bro, that's not okay. That's unhealthy to be that way. No, but it makes me feel better right there. Now the idea is you're supposed to feel good. So it's not about being in faith. No. It's about feeling good. And what makes me feel good? When I let it out. These are the phrases that people will tell you. You need to let it out. Don't bottle it all up. So now everything is bottled up. So there's no, it's black and white. You either hold all of it in, or you bottle all of it up, or you let all of it out. And that's just not true. There are things that we are supposed to discern and say, you know what? No, that ain't going to defeat me at all. Because as soon as one thing defeats you, another one will. And another one. I'm saying all that to say this: the belly, the feelings is what people, the flesh it wants to worship that and create it as God, and we're not supposed to worship our feelings. And people don't realize that that's what you're doing when you're more consumed by the fear and worry of something that's going to happen. I'm telling you. You literally are worshiping your feelings over the truth, over the truth of what God says in the word. You're worshiping your feelings. And now I'm not just talking about things that are happening in this world. I'm talking about you also being saved. People that worry and have fear, those kind of people that worship, those kind of people that worship their belly. Oh, you're good. Those kind of people that worship their belly, it's real easy for them to be put back under the law. People that worship their feelings, worship their belly, those are the easiest people to put back under the law because they're worried they're not going to make it to heaven. They live in fear that if they don't do something, it ain't going to work. And it's so easy to put them back under the law because because they worship their belly, their feelings, because that's their God. That's what dictates what they believe. And if you pay real close to people that are trying to put themselves back under the first covenant, it's real easy for them to try to put other people back under the first covenant. And the reason that it's easy, what was that? Oh, and the reason that it's easy for them to do this is because they're moved by their feelings. They're not moved by faith. That's why people, the first covenant believers, that's why if you pay attention to people that quote unquote like debate or try to get them to understand, that we're not under the first covenant, if you pay real close to the way that they're talking to them, they always bring up faith to the first covenant believer because they can discern that the only reason that you would try to put yourself back under the first covenant, there's an issue with faith somewhere. So they can discern it. They can discern, like, whoa, bro, hold on. Bro, it's about faith. And the other person, they're like, no. And they're always pointing at themselves, what they need to do, how you need to do it. And the only way that's possible is they're having an issue with what faith is, who faith is. And we're supposed to worship God, not our bellies. Our emotions are not supposed to be worship. Your emotions are not supposed to say you're not saved. And you're like, oh, I'm not. Fear is not supposed to tell you you're not saved. But when fear can tell you that you're not saved, then there you go. You're worshiping your belly. You still don't get it. You're still stuck in the flesh. So it's real important that we go and make disciples, learners of the Spirit is very important because it's only through the Spirit that is discipling further a person. It's nothing else. So yeah, Benny was bringing up Nebuchadnezzar. Like, bro, there's even like the whole story of Nebuchadnezzar, right? Like when you go study everything in the Hebrew, like the entire Old Testament, there's some stories that stick out and you're just like, bro, like how, man? Like it's just remarkable. Like the way Jesus speaks to us, like so many different ways, all at the same time. It's not just in one way. It's so many ways that he's talking to us. And more of those ways that you learn, you just see it, how much deeper, that it is. Because you don't just have the black letters on a white page, right? You have the Hebrew language. It just alone, the Hebrew language is just full of it without even reading stories yet. You just have the language itself, the letters. And then you start putting the words together. And some of the areas, bro, you're not even done with the sentence. And it's already talking about Christ. It's already talking about the gospel. And you ain't even read the whole sentence yet. And then you read the whole sentence. And the sentence is talking about the gospel. So it's not just the letters or the words, I'm doing it backwards. It's not just the sentence, it's the words itself, the letters itself, every one of them pointing to him. And then once you read about a couple of paragraphs, right? Because now we're getting, reading more. You read a couple of paragraphs. Now you got the whole story. The whole story itself is the gospel. And then you go put another story that's not even in the same book, and it adds to a piece of the parable that first story was. So the first story was part one of a parable, and then like a few stories later, we're talking probably 100 years later, there's another story that points to another piece of the parable. And then a few stories later, it's another piece. And before you know it, you've read 5-6 stories, all 300-400 years apart. And it completes a parable, bro, in the Old Testament. And it's like, man, hold on, dude. Like what? Like it's never ending. And then
It's amazing the
Christ gets
cross
here in the
references.
and then Christ gets here in the New Testament. He gets here in the New Testament, and he is what completes every parable in the Old Testament. And you're like, dude, so when people say they don't understand something, or when they say that, they are not as familiar with the Bible as they claim. Waste my time arguing again. I've did this a million times. At first, it was, I didn't understand. Like I would, I'd say, how are you not seeing this? I just started seeing. So how am I supposed to fully understand? And you got to understand, I thought every Christian saw this. I was like, well, what are you talking about? Like, because it says, I'll tell them right here, bro. And I'm like, hold on, what's going on? Like, what? All these people are claiming to be Christians, and so I started. Okay, hold on. Let me save this. So I'll ask him, bro. And I'm like, how long have you been a Christian? They have no idea why I'm asking, but I'll ask them, how long have you been a Christian? Oh, I've been Christian. So I was like, how long do you read the Bible? And, a lot of them will tell you the truth. They're like, well, of course, every Sunday at church, and then at home, at least an hour a week or maybe 2 hours. I really don't have more time than I'm like, so you read the Bible, for the past 10 years, an hour a week. And, this is not about pointing the fingers. Because I read it for 12 to 15 hours a day for 5 years, now at that point, that it literally clicked in my mind. Oh, well, if I read it 1 hour a week, there'd be no way I'd understand what I'm understanding. So that's it. So the seed time and harvest, it got real strong at that moment when it clicked in my head that you have to plant the seed, water it, and it will grow. Period. The end. That's exactly what the Bible teaches, is seed time and harvest. That's exactly what it teaches. So when people claim that they know so much about the Bible, and the truth is they study 1 or 2 hours a week, and then some people say, oh, I study 3 hours a day. Okay, well, don't get me wrong. 3 hours a day is great, but I'm always going to be able to be honest with myself and say 12 to 15 hours a day, though. Me personally, I haven't met one of them yet, and I can stand my ground on that, and 100% stand my ground and say that I know what it looks like when someone studies for 12 to 15 hours a day, every day, 365 days a week for 5 years. I know what that looks like, period. And so no man is special. Nobody is. You either put that time in or you didn't. And the proof will be in the pudding, period. And so when people want to talk about certain topics, and like I said, I did this a million times. It just took me, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, man. It took me, probably a year for sure, maybe even a year and a half for it to click why people don't have, like, anytime I'm talking, like, I'm like, bro, what? That is not what that's talking about. And I didn't get it. I didn't understand. I did not understand. And finally, one day, thank God, it clicked. I'm like, this dude's read the Bible 1 hour a week. I can't imagine 1 hour a week. The next time that you started your hour, you're going to have to recap. You're not going to remember everything you studied in that hour. A whole week of the world goes by. And then now we got to go back to where we were and say, okay, so last week we talked about this. I mean, for 15 minutes of it is going over what you went over last week. So really, you're getting 45 minutes if you're lucky. You're you're doing it for an hour, but you're getting 30 minutes to 45 minutes a week now, because you're going to have to recap. Eventually, you're going to have to recap even further, unless you change a topic or something. But how many people DM and say, Trot, thank you so much for doing this. And I'm like, man, like, bro, you have no idea. Like, who else is going to do it then? Show me who else. I understand completely what Jesus meant when he said there are few laborers. Oh, I get it. I get it, bro. Not everybody's got, 12 to 15 hours a day. No, nobody has that kind of time. The only people that have that kind of time is just a very weird, like, moment. Like,
People in
you're in the
prison,
middle of, huh? Do what? What, what about retired people?
but they usually find other stuff that makes their flesh more happy.
Well, I'm
What
just saying,
about injured?
like,
What about injured people?
hey, actually, that's actually a good point. Like, what's the guy's name in the wheelchair? Hawkins, what's his name?
Yeah, Stephen Hawkins.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawkins, bro. All he does is read books, dude.
Well, he used to. He's
He
dead
would
now.
only read the
No,
book.
yeah. Well,
He
I'm
called
saying when
me.
he was alive. Do
Yeah.
what? I'm saying when he was alive.
But even then,
I've
Yeah.
he
known
read
some
all
from
the books
guys.
and he still denied God. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, again,
Read the
everybody's
wrong
got
ones.
20. Everybody's got 24 hours a day to believe what they want to believe. But let's just say he did read the Bible. You know, 10, 10, 15, 12, 30, 24 hours a day, because we know that he read books several hours a day, bro. We know this is a fact, and he's been doing it for so long. So imagine if he would have put all that time and effort digging up the word. I can't imagine,
I'm
to be
saying
honest
so
with you.
Hey,
much, so much talent wasted.
well, allegedly talent because it's not very talented to deny God, in my opinion. But hey, Trot, I found a
Yeah.
pretty cool gem. I think you would like First Chronicles 4 and 6.
All right. Let me see.
Read it.
Let's see.
Read
Let's
it,
see.
Dre.
Read it.
I have one device right now, but if somebody could read it for me, I'd really appreciate it.
Hey, you said First Chronicles what? 4. First Chronicles 4:6. All right, let's see. Here it is. And Nara bare him Azam and Heifer and Temeni
And who?
and
And heifer.
Temeni.
I found the tribe of the heifers, bro.
Oh, Azar and Heifer.
I
That's
found
it,
the tribe
right
of the
there.
heifers, bro.
I knew my wife was in here. I tried to tell her. She didn't believe me.
Listen, I was telling everybody I was listening to Chronicles, like I had my headphones
Yeah,
on, and he said the tribe of heifer later on, and I looked it up. It's the Heiferites. I was like, oh my lord, the
the
Heiferites.
Heiferites.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's a
funny.
real thing. But no, I was
The
actually looking at First
Heiferites.
Chronicles chapter 1 verse 4. I think it's 4. First Chronicles chapter 1 verse 4, or 32. Sorry, First Chronicles chapter 1 verse 32.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting because the mention of the conquest is not not with Isaac and Hagar. So I don't know why it wasn't mentioned. Like I was looking, I was like, oh man, this wasn't mentioned over here. But I bet you a lot of people that say that they read the Bible 30 years, their whole life, don't even know about this particular verse here.
Yeah. 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 So when you get to that's what I said, man, like whenever you're reading, right, the main part of I'm not trying to separate and like make the Bible sections. I'm just saying like that's what I did in my own head. I'm not saying that's what we're supposed to do, but I kind of section it off because when I first started reading it, I didn't understand. I didn't understand why Chronicles had some of the stories in there that's in the Bible, but had it in there different. I didn't understand the purpose of that. I didn't get it. The Psalms and the Proverbs. I didn't understand why they just sound like, fortune cookie pieces of papers. I didn't get it either. So I was like, man, I ain't reading none of that. I'm just going to read the stories. But once I got all the stories out the way, then Chronicles just kind of start making sense on its own. You can tell exactly what it is. But in Chronicles especially, man, they're so concentrated on the begattins. So and so begat so and so. I'm like, oh my Lord, dude. And I would skip all that because it's just not something I was ready to to venture into. I didn't even understand the stories. I'm not going to sit here and go over all the begattins and pull my hair out, so I kind of sectioned off the Bible, and slowly it started all coming together. But yeah, so when you get to areas like it's talking about, like this one right here in 32, where it says, Abraham's concubine. And when you go further down, let me see if it's 30. Let me see. The sons. No, it's in 32, I guess. Let me see. Well,
Yeah, it's definitely
Jashon, Medan,
32, bro.
Median. Well, no, I'm saying the part I'm looking for. Let me see. And the sons of Jachin, Sheba, and Didon. Yeah. But, the Bible tells us, bro, that after, we see this main story of Abraham, right? With, with Hagar and Sarah. And then later on, bro, he gets married again, has kids again.
Yeah, and you know what else too, Trot, was really interesting in Chronicles? It talked about Ishmael. It talked about this concubine. But when it gets to Isaac, particularly Isaac and Abraham, it says, and Abraham begot Isaac. But he doesn't, the Bible does not mention that we know that that Ishmael came from Abraham, but the only one that he says begotten of is Isaac. And it's like that.
Yeah.
It's like the authentic lineage. When you see the begotten, it's like authentic begot.
Well, because the begotten is the promise.
Exactly. That's
Right.
that's my whole
Amen.
point. I was like, yo,
Amen.
that's interesting.
Yeah, and so
That's the
when the
covenant.
Islamic believers try to use this argument, and they're like Ishmael, and they're like, and if you pay attention, they focus on this lie. They have taught themselves that there's this lie, like y'all say that that Isaac was the only son. He had another son. Here we go again with logic, right? Here's logic, right? Because when you read the Bible, it's so clear that there are two, Isaac and Ishmael. And they literally try to make it sound like that you're saying that Ishmael's not even there. And it's like, bro, what are you talking about?
Right.
We said the begotten, the only son, there's only one promise. No. And then they'll go back and they'll try to point out how Ishmael is blessed, and they try to find all this. And I always tell them this, anytime that someone tries to bring that part up, and because they claim to be familiar with the Bible, but they're not. The only thing they're familiar with is the story, the black letters on the white page. That's it. That's all they're familiar with. They're not familiar with understanding. They're like a horse and a mule. They see and hear what's there, but like anything that has to do with wisdom or understanding, they don't see it. They have no clue what you're talking about because that's not what they see in here. And so I always say, I said, listen, I don't know why you keep lying about how people are lying about this false claim that you have, that there's this lie. Don't you understand how perfect God is? If it was all about just a man, the way y'all's book was written, do you not know that Ishmael's name would have never even been written down? It's so easy, bro. Don't you understand that the wisdom of God would never be seen if all they wrote down was Abraham had a son and his name was Isaac? And they could have just on purpose, don't you understand? On purpose, they could have just not even mentioned Hagar, bro. It's so easy.
And they usually
and you're
say
sitting
it was the son of Sarah's maid. That's another thing that it emphasizes on. It makes it very clearly that it's not the son of the covenant; it's the son of the maid. In other words, the son of the disobedience.
Well, yeah, but Abraham married Hagar, so all they have to say is, well, they're married. That's all they have to say, and it no longer matters if it was a maid anymore, right? So, but still, that's still the point is that if there was a lie, if somebody was trying to lie and say that there was no more quote unquote sons, if there was a true conspiracy, the writer of this story, there would be no mention of Hagar or Ishmael. It would have never been written down.
Very true.
So
Very
how come
true.
that didn't happen? If there was such a conspiracy and everybody's lying and saying that Ishmael means nothing, well, why didn't they just start off like that then? Why in the world would the writer even write any of that down? You know why? Because everyone has an option. Everyone gets the same chance. That's why. Everyone gets the same chance to read the Bible with their heart or read the Bible with their head. Everybody gets the same chance. If God would not have told the whole truth, then he'd be a liar. He told the whole truth. And now it's up to you to figure out what is happening in these stories. It's up to you. Everybody, nobody will be able to stand before God and call him a liar or say that something's not fair. No. You would though if he would have took out Ishmael, if he would have took out Hagar, and that those people never were in the story, then you can say, oh, hold on, Lord, you didn't put that in the story. See, if that was there, then I would have been able to determine. No, he left all of it in there because all of it is true. Abraham did have another physical son, but only one was promised to Sarah. It was the promise that was given to Sarah's womb. Do you understand? Not Hagar's womb. The Lord didn't go to Hagar and said, you shall bear a child and his name will be this and great and da-da-da. No. The word spoke truth into Hagar's womb. It was Hagar that said, shall I have this pleasure? And that word there is Eden. Shall I have Eden? That's what she said. Shall I have Eden? There's only one. And that's through Isaac. And so the argument that they have is just ridiculous, bro. Like if there was any conspiracy, well, we might as well just left that out. What would be the point of putting it in there? It was put in there because Abraham did have a child with Hagar. It's true. That's why it was put in there. But that child, Ishmael, was not the promise because the promise was spoken to Sarah. And no Islamic believer is going to make me believe that Hagar was Sarah. And then when you say, things like, oh, well, Abraham married her and da-da-da. Yeah, brother, what? Yeah. Where's the denial? And so here we go again with Islamic believers finding people that are claiming that they know the Bible. And then here's the Islamic believer proven to a Christian that's a cocky fool that is trying to just debate and argue like a fool, and then the Islamic believer gets to say, "See, I know the Bible more than you." That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. They make Christians look like fools every day because there's parts of the Bible that they focus on that Christians don't, because you know what? Christians, they don't care to read the Bible like you should. They don't. But they tell everybody they know so much about the Bible. Then you have a 30-second argument with the Islamic believer and you look like a fool, And then these same people, want to go up to Christians that have put in time and effort and try to force them to talk about something. I'm like, no, you're not going to. Oh, man, you got a Bible? Go read your Bible. It's funny when Christians get mad at you that you don't want to talk about something, but yet they won't go read their own Bible. You got the Spirit, right? Okay, well, there you go. You got the Spirit. Go read the Bible. There's no one to blame but yourself. There's no one to blame. And so that's why we're supposed to make disciples, right? Show people what God is showing us. And then from that point on, you start receiving straight from the Father because it is true. It is real. We do have a spirit. But when you got everybody like fools saying, I got the Spirit of God in me, and then this guy says it, and this guy says it, I say, bro, you can have the Spirit of God all you want inside of you, but you don't pick up that Bible. I'm telling you right now, you think God's going to teach you through telekinesis only? Like you think he's just going to teach you without you putting your nose in that book? I'm telling you right now, it ain't going to happen.
Hey,
It ain't going to
Trot.
happen. Yeah, what's up?
Hey, when you say make disciples, you're talking about us showing them, getting this scaled, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Wash their
Now, when you
feet,
say,
bro. Wash their feet.
When you say them, who you talking about as them, Flip?
Oh, well, I'm making this time. I'm talking about like iron sharpens iron, showing one another, Jesus in the Old Testament.
I know, but is that who you calling them? Other believers?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, you make
okay.
disciples
Let me
out of
say
people
this.
that are not believers, bro. And iron
Yeah, but
sharpens
let me.
iron. That's go on.
Yeah. So, all right. No, I'm glad you asked that question because I probably never went over it. So, there are going to be people who get saved, but the Bible says, "Be not conformed to this world, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind."
Yeah.
Right. So there are going to be people that get saved and never renew their mind, bro. So just because someone is saved doesn't mean they've been discipled,
True.
right? Right.
Yeah.
So Paul told the man, "Hey, have you received the Spirit?" And he goes, "What is this Spirit you speak of?" what are you talking about?
Yeah.
so
Yeah, that's true.
so so someone can be saved, but they were never discipled, and that's what's sad. In a bunch of physical churches today, their front door is just as big as their back door. Everybody come in, get saved, and boy, they just leave out them back doors just as fast as they entered them front doors after they get saved. And there's not any discipleship. They're just saved, and so you throw all the hey, first off, there's nothing wrong with being saved, but
Yeah.
the truth is we were not told the way that people are trying to do it, right? Conveyor belt Christianity. That's just not what Jesus told us to do. He said, "Go ye and make disciples." And so when you have someone who is saved, the only thing they can do is go, quote unquote, save someone else. Right? So notice the method, right? Like the Islamic believers has their shahadati or whatever, and they have this phrase, and the Christians have their phrase, and everybody got this phrase, I'm a sinner, and I must be saved, and Lord, thank you for saving me today. And so we all have these phrases, and they're like, okay, you're saved, yay, let's go to Pizza Hut, right? and the person that just got saved is like, all right, what's next? They're like, what's next? What do we do now? And the one that just saved them, they're like, I don't know. We're supposed to save people. Let's go save people. Yeah. And it's like, I
That's
mean,
why, because they're the ones that did the saving.
well,
That's
and
why
that's
they got it wrong
that's
from
the
the beginning.
yeah, and but again, no, God's not falling off his throne. He's not. He's like, oh man, guys, y'all are ruining it. No, no, no. It's the focus, right? The goal is to talk about Christ to people. That period, the end. That's the goal. That's the focus. But there is a better way, okay, and it's to make a disciple. But if you're just focused on getting people saved, then again, you can't give something you don't have. So if somebody cannot see, how can they give you sight if they can't see? So if they at least can see that Jesus is God, if they can see that and they're like, "Oh my Lord, like hold on a second, dude, it is true. This guy did all these things. This part is true." And again, God's not going to fall off his throne because we're getting it all wrong. No, no, no. But there is a better way. That's all I'm saying. It's not about pointing the finger at how come this, shame on you, church, for not making disciples. Hey, maybe they were never discipled. Duh. It's not hard. You can't give what you don't have. So when discipleship is taught that you just take someone, put them under your wing, and I'm going to teach you how not to smoke weed anymore. My God, when the day's over, that unction, that need of you wanting to smoke weed, well, we're going to save your soul from that weed. There are people that's what they believe. If you do a drug, you're not fully saved yet, but one day we're going to get you to stop doing that drug in Jesus' name. And that's all they're focused on. First of all, there ain't nothing wrong with that. If you're addicted or to a drug, obviously you want to be free from that addiction. Duh, it's not hard. It's not hard. Okay, but That's not making a disciple. Making a disciple is not just pointing your finger at a flaw and saying, okay, let's do better in this area. Now, that is pointing the finger to the transformation, right? Be not conformed to this world, be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. That is a part of renewing your mind 100%. So it's not wrong. But we need to open the eyes of the blind, and open the eyes of the blind is not showing them. It's not about, hey, let me show you, you don't need a drug. Let me show you that you don't need a drug. No. Open the blind eyes is someone seeing something in the Bible that they never saw before. Because if you ask someone that's a physical person, they just got saved yesterday, and let's just say they're addicted to heroin. If you ask them, hey, is heroin good? I've never met one that would be, I'm talking about when we're being honest here. I've never met one say, oh, yeah, heroin's so good for you. It's like apples. I've never met a person that was addicted to heroin say that. Every one of them say no. They're like, nah. They didn't need the Spirit. They said no before they were saved. So you don't need the Spirit to tell someone that being addicted to something is bad or good. They already know that. So going back to what Flip is saying, making disciples, is it us talking to each other? Listen, it's anyone that's never been discipled. There are Christians that have never been discipled, and they need to be discipled. There are people that are not even saved. They need to be discipled. So Jesus saying, go ye and make disciples. It's anyone that hasn't been discipled. He's not saying go and save people. No. He said go and make disciples. So if someone says, oh, I've been saved for 5 years, have you received the Spirit? Are you a disciple? Are you a learner of the Spirit? Oh, well, no, I don't even know what you're talking to. Well, they're saved. So are we supposed to disciple them, or are we supposed to believe they are already discipled? You should know. All you got to do is just start talking to them about Jesus in the Old Testament. They're going to be like, say, man, Jesus ain't in the Old Testament. Oh, well, you've never been discipled. It's quite simple. It's so easy, bro. It's not hard. But yeah, go ye and make disciples. So someone says they're saved. Have you been discipled or not? And then of course pride kicks in. Somebody can be saved for 5 years, so you got to be careful. You don't want to just, I'll do it, but you got to make sure that, I'll tell somebody, okay, brother, you ain't never been discipled. What? How dare you? They get a fit. I'm like, man, I don't know any other way to tell you, bro. Like, my bad. I'm not trying. I'm just saying matter of fact, you can ask him, who discipled you? Oh, this guy over here. And then, all right, well, let me go meet him. Where's this guy at? Let me meet him. And you start talking to him about things in the Bible. And you're like, brother, who discipled you? Nobody. So we got the blind leading the blind here. Everybody's leading everybody to Christ. First of all, like the Bible makes it clear, people talking about Christ is amazing. That's not the point here. But it's just part of the truth. The other part of the truth is go ye and make disciples. That's the other part of the truth. That's why Paul asked the guy, hey, man, you been baptized? You got the Holy Spirit? No. What is this Holy Spirit you speak of? Oh, well, let's go over it then. That's because Paul was focused on making disciples, you see? Disciples of the Spirit. That's what he was focused on. That's why he told the people in the church, he said, hey, I thought I was going to come over here and y'all going to be teaching, but yet you're still babies. Like what's going on? Thought you'd be teachers by now.
Hey, but making disciples, it's more than just saying a sinner's prayer, Or, I
Yeah.
when I talk to people about Jesus, it's like, hey, why don't you go home, on your own time alone, talk to God, and then it's more than just saying, all right, let's say the sinner's prayer, when you pray for people, I don't believe in that. It's more than that, and then taking them under your wing, and teaching them and showing them Jesus in Scripture.
Danny
You
P.
know,
Danny P's in the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Hey,
100%. Yeah. It's not about just saving somebody and then and telling them, hey, now listen, Jesus had 12 disciples and one of them betrayed Jesus, and this and that. There's nothing wrong with those stories because they're all true. Every one of them are true. But I'm telling you, when you are so familiar with just when Jesus was walking, you missed it. I'm telling you right now, you 100% missed it. The scriptures that are being talked about when Jesus was walking here, the scriptures that are being talked about that Paul talks about, guys, it's the Old Testament. Don't you understand? That is what you study and show thyself approved. It's not about following the crumbs in the New Testament, because the crumbs in the New Testament are the end. Don't you understand? If there were 10,000 crumbs laid down, Jesus walking this earth were the last 500 crumbs of the 10,000. Why are you not starting at the beginning of the trail of manna? Don't you understand? Jesus wrote the entire thing. And you think that you were supposed to spend 10 years of your life studying the 500 crumbs at the end of the crumbs. What is causing you to believe that you're not because here's the thing, we may not have been here when the first crumbs were laid, but if you pay real close attention to the Old Testament, it talks in a present time. So you can at least reverse engineer and you can follow the crumbs back to the Old Testament. If you want to do that, then fine, do that. But get to the beginning of those crumbs, that Jesus first started laying down, so you can see the whole Bible in its entirety. We are not supposed to be stuck in the quote unquote New Testament where Jesus is walking around. We're not supposed to be stuck there. The whole thing was written by Christ for a purpose, and we're supposed to dig up those gems in the Old Testament to see what was concealed for yourself. Not to say, well, Paul said it was concealed, I'm just going to believe Paul. No, when you get to heaven, you're not going to be able to say, hold on a second, Paul, come here. Hold on, Paul, do you remember when you wrote? Nah, buddy. Paul's going to say, well, why didn't you study this? Yeah, why didn't you study the scriptures and show yourself approved? I did. I studied all your scriptures. Paul's going to say, those were letters, goofball. What are you talking about? Scriptures. Paul's going to be like, I'm talking about the scriptures, dude. The scriptures
And that's
that the
why it says
scribes and
study. It says study,
huh?
not read. Study to show yourselves
Exactly.
approved. It doesn't say read. You can't just read it like a book because you're not going to get anything out
Yeah,
of it. I mean,
exactly.
yeah,
So,
you'll get the literal meaning, but you're not going to get the revelation.
Hey,
yeah,
Trot.
exactly. Yeah.
I was circling
What's up?
around. There's a couple of books I was looking at. I was in Chronicles this weekend, and also I jumped in the First Peter. I started going through the books of Peter because I was like, you know what? All these talks of this man being the first pope and the foundation of the church and yada yada yada, like the combo. So I started looking, bro, and it's funny because in First Peter chapter 2, watch this. I was cracking up, bro. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I should have been back over here earlier. It says, wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and all hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. He says, if so, be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious, to whom coming as unto the living stone, we know who that is, disallowed
Yeah.
indeed of men, but chosen of God and precious. Ye also as living Petras. He was called Petra, right? He was called stone, and that's
Yeah.
like the foundation
Pebble.
of that whole thing. But he says, you are living stones and are built up a spiritual house. So all the little stones together make what? The spiritual house. And then he says,
Yeah.
and a holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices. That makes us what? He says that we are as an holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices, which is obviously we know what that is, right? And we
Yeah.
are living sacrifices, and we're living sacrifices because Christ lives in us and he revived us, and he is the only tithe that we can give to God that is pleasing unto him. Anyways, acceptable
Yeah.
to God by Jesus Christ. Wherefore also is contained in the scripture, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect precious, and he that believeth on him, which is Christ, the chief cornerstone, shall not be confounded. Unto you, therefore, which believe, he is precious, but unto him to be disobedient. The stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner, and the stone of stumbling, and a rock of offense, even to them which stumble at the word, being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed. It says, but be ye a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a particular people, that ye should shew forth the praises of him who has called you out of darkness and into the marvelous light. So, what is the first pope talking about? He ain't calling himself the Pope at all. He said we are all little stones because the
Amen.
revelation that was given to Peter is the stone of the of the church. So Christ
Mm-hmm.
is the chief cornerstone, and the revelation that He is God or makes us little pebbles that build upon that cornerstone, which makes the church. It's a spiritual church, a spiritual sacrifice, and it's very clear that even Peter talked about this, but yet this is unseen, which is ridiculous to me.
That's why he calls us the body. The body. We're all the body. One's a foot, one's a hair, nose. You're the toe jam, Dre. But
No, no,
it's
no,
God,
no.
okay.
easy.
That's not a part of the body, bro. That's
Oh
because
I
you don't
know.
my.
wash your
I know.
body.
That's just an
That's because
after
you don't
effect.
wash your body. You got to learn how to wash your body, man.
Oh
That's
my
what the
Easy.
lord.
body
Bruh.
parts are.
Wow.
No, bro,
He's
I'm
so
just
dumb.
joking with you. I know that was a joke. That was a joke.
She's
Give the
like, no,
belly
guys, for
button.
real. Calm
You were
down.
good
Everybody
for a
calm down. It's just
moment.
a joke.
But we're the body, man. That's why we're the body,
Anthony, what's
brother.
up?
It's right there in black and
Hey, I
white.
thought I saw Danny in here. Was Dan? Let me
He
look again.
was. He was. He was. Pastor
Or
P
was
was
he?
in here. Yeah, he was in here. I don't
Yeah,
know if he's still in here. Let me see.
I just saw Anthony. What's up,
Oh, he gone.
Anthony? Oh,
He
he
gone.
gone. He came
Pastor
to say
Danny be
hello.
going in on these dudes, boy.
No, he didn't get
Anthony
here.
hops in
Anthony's
and takes off. I haven't seen him
Anthony's here
in like a
still.
month. It's been what?
And that's another thing, bro. I don't think we went over questions. Did we go over questions,
Why
bro?
you
I don't think
asking
we
all the
ever.
questions? Asking all the questions. Why you asking
Uh,
all the questions? No,
no, I
probably
was,
Danny's the only
because
person that'll get that one.
Hey,
oh,
Dre, listen to this one in First Chronicles 15, chapter 22. I mean, verse 22. For as in Adam all died, even so in Christ all shall be made alive. If they don't
yeah.
know who the first Adam was, they're not going to understand who the
Well,
last Adam
let me
is.
tell you why people are having a problem seeing what we're talking about. The reason why they have a problem seeing it is because they're when they read the Old Testament, man, they treat it as though it's dead, gone. They don't understand that there are questions in the Bible that if you're not paying attention, it doesn't look like they're questions that need to be answered, right? Because it's part of a story, right? And I know I've been over Samson, where Samson, there's the riddle is given, this and that, and the answer to the riddle, right, was what is stronger than a lion and sweeter than honey, and it has a question mark. But you don't ever hear anybody talking about answering the question. There may be some people, but the majority of them are focused more on the story. They're not really focused on the intricate details, and it's really important that we know the answer to that, and we know that the answer to that is the word. That's the Jesus is the word. That's the answer actually to the riddle, right? Because the first part of the riddle is just to get the question, and now that the question is there, what's the answer? What's the rest of the riddle? So the truth is, the entirety of the riddle was not answered, because it's for us who's reading it today, right? And this is all over in the Bible, and that's why I don't go over Job a whole lot, because there's a whole lot of this going on. Matter of fact, dude, just for fun, let me see. I don't remember what chapter,
I got one that I was looking that I found
but it's in.
amazing. I'm trying to find the address, and I think it's in Isaiah. And I'm not sure which one it is. I think I marked it down yesterday as I was doing a study on my own at home, and it's speaking about curd and honey and honeycomb, and he was talking about Jesus.
Dude, you know what else? Try. I was reading
Mm.
the how it talks about in the book of Deuteronomy. I'll find the address for you. I know you're about to scream at me in a minute, but the price of a slave was 30 pieces of silver, bro.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's not a coincidence, bro. When I tell you I read that this weekend, and
Nah,
my
I
mind
mean,
was
you know,
like,
and
"Oh
it's like,
heck no, bro." Hold on. It says that the
yeah,
price of a slave is 30 pieces of silver. You go into Zechariah, and it talks about how he is sold for 30 pieces of silver, and then you go over to Judas, and we know that he betrayed Christ for 30 pieces of silver, and then you go back and say when Christ said, "Oh." You want to learn about you want to learn about faith? Let me tell you about the servant, which is equivalent to a slave.
yeah,
I'm like, yo,
yeah,
I was mind blown this weekend. I was like, yo, this is ridiculous, bro. This is
yeah,
crazy.
dude. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm trying to see where it's at. Okay, 42 is where Job finally uh, uh, repents about everything that he said. Let me see. Is it 40? Let me see. Knowest thou the time? Ah, which one is it? Let me see. Just give me a second. Okay, 30. I'll use 38 as an example. But look okay, so remember, Job, and because we're talking about questions, right? And I know for a fact I went over Samson. I went over that there is a question. Okay, let me say it this way. In the riddle that Samson gives, the answer to the part that Samson is looking for, it's a question, but it's still not the end of a riddle. It's a question. What is stronger than a lion, and what is sweeter than honey? Do you understand? It's a question. It's up to us to answer what that is. And it's funny that we read this is everywhere. I mean, if you look at Proverbs, Psalms, there's a lot of questions in there. And the problem with us is our carnal mind is so focused at reading this book that we actually believe that we're not being asked to answer the question. Oh, you're being asked. All right. You're being asked. That's why if they got the part of the riddle right, that's why each one of them was given a garment. Do I remember what Samson said that he would give them if they got the riddle correctly? Right? Jesus said, "Who do people say that I am?" Do you not understand that Jesus himself is a riddle? It's not about him telling you who he is. It's not about that. It's a riddle. The whole thing is a riddle. The whole thing. And it's up to you individually to figure out who he is. So for this idea where people say things like, show me where he says he's God. It was never was it written in that way. Manoah, the father of Samson, he asked the angel, he said, tell me your name, bid me your name, please, so we can give you, so we can expound on your name when this great thing happens. And he said, why askest thou my name, knowing that it is secret? So if we're going to play this game that Jesus should have came and told everybody who he was, if that's true, he would have been doing that in the Old Testament. Why didn't he do it in the Old Testament? Because it's on every individual to find out who he is. And your flesh tells you one thing, and the Spirit of God, wisdom, tells you another. Complete two different answers, right? But the questions in the Old
Because it's
Testament.
the glory of God to conceal a matter, and it's the honor of kings to search it out. That's why.
That's right. So if you ain't searching it out, well, you're letting everybody know who you are because you don't care
Exactly.
enough to search it out.
Amen.
But in 38 of Job, and this is just another example, dude, they're all over the place. But it says, Then the Lord answered Job out of a whirlwind and said, Who is that? Who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge? He basically is saying, you're a fool, Job. You don't know what you're talking about. And if you pay attention, we're at 38 right now. Job has said a lot. Job has said a lot right here, bro. And he basically tells him, hey, bro, you don't know what you're talking about. But it's a question. See that? He says, who is this that darkeneth counsel? Well, we all know there's only one that darkens counsel. There's only one that darkens counsel. And that's why he talks about Leviathan. There's only one that does this.
Right.
And he was a murderer from the beginning. So the answer to who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge, the answer is the devil. Very easy. He says, gird up now thy like a man. What kind of man? A man that has dominion. Right? What is the armor of God? Anybody remember the armor of God?
What do you mean
Anybody?
the armor of
Like the
God? Like
helmet,
there's a
the
sword, the
Jesus,
Yeah,
helmet,
when
the
you when you
Jesus,
breastplate,
when
Jesus.
you put
belt.
on when you put on the armor of God, what is the armor? Go over the armor.
Jesus.
The
Oh,
helmet
belt.
of
this.
salvation, the sword of the
Just
word, the
Salvation.
breastplate
Oh,
of
I'm sorry.
righteousness.
You wanted us to break it
Gird
down.
yourself
Okay.
with truth, the shards of
right
peace of
there.
the
Right,
feet.
hold on, right there. Hold on. Gird yourself with truth.
Yeah,
Gird yourself with truth. So when he tells them, gird up now thy loins like a man, he's saying like a man that has dominion,
like a
which
man,
is
bro.
truth. Like a man.
Say
Yeah,
it with
but
your
yeah,
chest.
different cultures read that differently. But what he's
Pull your
saying is
pants up.
he's talking. Do what?
No, put your
Yeah.
What?
belt on.
Put
Hold
your
it up.
pants up and, stand
No,
up with the
no, no,
truth.
no, no. When
Hey,
you
folks
gird
better stop
yourself
sagging, bro.
in
You
the
you
in
you don't
the
have nothing
armor,
around. You ain't girding
and
yourself with truth.
Oh
You
listen,
ain't girding yourself
my
with
guys,
nothing.
guys, the armor could not be held in place without putting that belt on. When you do the study, without putting that belt on, the rest didn't stay on. That's why he says, gird yourself
Wait,
with the
wait,
truth.
wait, wait. So your helmet falls off if you don't have a belt on?
Listen, I'm talking about the armor
wait,
part,
wait,
the part
wait.
on your body, bro.
So wait.
Go ahead,
My
Tron.
shirt
Keep going.
falls off.
Gird yourself like a
Never
man.
mind, never mind.
Okay, so can we agree with what is girding yourself with truth? What is that? Anybody?
The truth is the what Christ did for us, the gospel.
The
That's the truth.
word, the
Right.
Standing on the
word,
So
word of God, standing on
the
his promises.
word, the word.
yeah. So we don't worship our feelings. We stand on truth.
Amen.
We don't worship our feelings. The part of you that wants to cry and worry. That's not our God. Our God is truth. That's why it's wrapped around your stomach.
Some have more
All
truth than
right.
others.
Uh-oh. Yeah. So,
Oh,
okay. So gird up now thy loins like a man he said, for I will demand of thee and answer thou me. So he's like, so basically I'm about to ask you some questions. He says,
Get
where
ready, get
hast
ready, get
thou,
ready.
oh
he
my
says,
Lord.
where wast thou when I laid the foundation of the earth? Declare, if thou hast understanding. Okay, if you have understanding, and obviously he's talking about spiritual understanding. If you have spiritual understanding, where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? So
Seated in
You
anybody know
wasn't
heavenly
the
there,
places.
bruh. You wasn't
anybody
there,
know
bruh. You wasn't
anybody know
there,
the
bruh.
answer?
Yeah,
Anybody know the
Seated
answer?
in heavenly places.
no,
Right.
he's talking to
Seated.
Job, right? Wasn't he talking to Job? He's asking him like, where were you at?
Okay, I'm gonna say it again. All right, let's go over it again.
Hold on, what's the address? I'm just asking what the address is so I can go to it.
All right,
I'm
the
just
the
Job
I'm,
38.
address
I'm
is
multitasking.
Job 38. Job 38.
Job 38.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
We're at
NIV, the
verse
good
4.
version.
All
Oh
right.
my
So
Lord.
if anybody missed it, I'll reiterate. Before I started reading this, I was talking about questions being in the Bible that you yourself need to answer.
Oh, okay. Cool. Now I get it.
All right. All right.
Yeah. What
So
verse we at?
yes. So we're at 38, 4, and
Okay.
so even though Samson asked those men or gave um, a riddle to those men. And when they answered the part of the riddle, it wasn't the end. It wasn't the end of the riddle, because the second part of the riddle, the first part was the riddle itself. The second part was a question. So to end the riddle, you have to answer the question. But if you pay attention to the story of Samson, the question is not answered. It's just a question that's given. And so here we go again with questions in the Bible. And let's just look at how coincidental some of these questions are that Job is being asked. He said, "Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth?" He says, "Declare, tell me if thou hast understanding." If you have understanding, you can answer this question, Job. Right? So we go to 5. Who hath laid the measure thereof? If thou knowest, or who hath stretched out the line upon it? Does anybody know the answer to that? Who has the measuring stick? Does anybody know?
Jesus.
Jesus.
Okay, I need to get a. I need to
Oh,
get a.
what are you talking about? The measuring stick in the book of Revelation when he tells him to tells John to measure?
He's giving all men
Well,
the measure of faith.
all right. So look, it
Who
says.
has
It
laid the
says.
measurements thereof? If thou
So
knowest.
hold on a second.
Uh-oh, it's the ATF, DEA.
Van a sacar la chancleta. Here it comes.
Homeland.
Hey, bro, real talk though, Benny. That
Yeah,
Job 38:3. That would be a great tattoo, bro.
a great tattoo.
Hey, I might have to get
Oh
that one
God.
somewhere, bro. I don't know.
Go ahead, read it again.
How
It
about
says,
tattoo it in your heart, brother? Tattoo it in your heart.
man, listen, I'm gonna put it everywhere I want. This
On
body
the
stay right here
forehead.
anyways. This body ain't going to heaven. It's staying right here. It dies with the ink. It says, gird up thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me.
In other words, pull up your pants, tighten it up,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
in the
I like that, bro. Gird up thy loins like a man. Bro, I love
mm.
that. I can't stand weak men,
You
man.
said 38. Did you say 38?
Yeah, we're on
38 and
5
3,
now.
38 and
38
3,
5
Oh,
now.
three.
Hey,
Now prepare
and
3.
He's
yourself
talking
like
Dre,
a
about 3.
man.
Dre, you know your loins, man. That's where all the torque comes from. That's where
Woo!
all the torque comes
Preach it,
from.
Benny. Preach it,
Yeah.
Benny.
Uh,
So, yeah, Benny, for sure. Like the loins is like the innermost part of you. Like that's the bro. That's where for men. That's like where your seed is at. That's everything, bro.
Hmm. That's why I
hey,
say
hey,
your torque, your power,
one
your
word for
strength comes from there.
So anybody got the answer?
Gird
yeah,
up thy
your
Who
loins
laid
like
the
loins
a
are
measures
man,
thereof of the foundations of the earth?
gird
Who
up thy
measures
loins
it?
like a man, for I
Who
will
laid the
demand
measure?
of thee, and answer
Who?
thou
Yeah.
me. God
Well,
is
if I
like
was if I
God is
was a
like giving them the
Jehovah
business,
Witness, I
boy.
would
You
say
hear
an
me?
angel
God was
measured
not playing with Job.
it.
Oh yeah,
Didn't he
he finna put
tell
him in his
didn't he
place.
tell Moses to measure it?
he told
Or was it
he
Noah?
told no, Noah measured the ark. He gave the
The ark?
measurements for the ark. And then in
Okay.
Revelation, he told John to measure it. Daniel, he
Okay.
told Daniel to measure it also. Didn't he?
What about Solomon?
Solomon, he gave him the
No,
measurements.
he was the
He,
temple, right?
yeah, he gave him the measurements.
Hey Dre, he finna lay it down to him so sweet that he gonna realize he ain't nothing but an ant, a paw print of an ant. You know what I mean? To compare to his knowledge, like, come on, man, who are you to even question a hard
Right.
time, and you don't even have a clue of what's 10 feet in front of you?
Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm.
How long did Job live? Just a random
A long
question.
time. I think it was like what? Am I correct in
Wasn't it
saying
900?
900 or 800 and something, if I'm not mistaken?
Okay.
Well, the
That's a
longest lived
long time to walk with the
who
Lord.
was who was the longest to ever live? Was it wasn't Job? It was
Methuselah.
Methuselah. He
Methuselah.
almost
That's
reached a
Enoch's,
thousand.
was it Enoch's
Enoch's father,
offspring?
right? No, Methuselah was not his close
No, the
friend.
son. Was it son or daughter? Son.
It's
Grandson.
definitely not a daughter.
Grandson.
Grandson, right.
He almost reached 1,000 years because according to the scriptures, I don't think man is able to reach 1,000 years because of the curse.
Yeah.
Not anymore. They could have. Can you imagine being 800 years old and having babies? That's like ludicrous. I'm 800 years old and I'm having babies.
Hey, you know
This
what's
is my
crazy is we wish and desire we could, experience the life that they had, living all those
no.
years, and
God
they
no.
they wish they desired to live the life we have in
Yeah, yeah,
grace
yeah,
and peace.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Yeah, you know
yeah.
who said that?
Which like,
Jesus, he actually I love when he quoted that in Luke. I'll read it to you
oh,
guys.
140.
Yeah, Jesus quoted, let me look for it. He quoted
Yeah,
that in
Job lived
Luke.
140, by the way. 140 years. That's what Clip says.
He quoted it in Luke chapter 16. He says,
Angel had a measuring
wait a
rod in
minute, it wasn't
Revelation.
16, it was I want to say it's 20 something. Hold on. Where did he quote that? Okay,
What up?
Jesse.
Oh, what's up?
Oh yeah, he quoted
Good
it in
job.
10. He quoted it in 10:22. It says, "All things have been delivered to me by my Father, and no one knows who the Son is except the Father, and who is the Father except the Son, and the one to whom the Son will reveal himself." Then he turned to the disciples and said privately, this is the part you're talking about, Ben,
Yeah,
blessed are the eyes which see the things you see. For I tell you that many prophets and kings have desired to see what you see and have not seen it, and to hear what you hear and not heard it, which is literally standing there with God while God is giving them the good news of the grace to come. Yep, you're right.
Where y'all at?
we digressed.
No,
Hey,
we just digressed a little
Oh,
bit.
I got a
Oh yeah, see,
question.
I asked how old Job was and was
And then from there, Ben
oh, would y'all
said,
find
"Isn't it
y'all find the answer?
amazing how
140.
people how people in the past wanted to live? We want to live as long as they live, and they wanted to experience actually what we're experiencing. So
Yeah,
that's where we came to that
Yeah, but
verse
can you
because
imagine? Can you imagine? Right? Can you imagine though? Let's look at it from a truth perspective. Would you want to live 900 years unredeemed, or at least 30 years redeemed?
right.
30 years redeemed.
facts.
That's what we got to.
We got the better deal.
Yeah.
We got the better deal.
Exactly. The Bible makes it very clear that we got the better end of the stick, man. Right. So these people that are always talking about, please God, come and rescue me from this world, you become a fool when you say things like that. You have no idea that you are already in heavenly places right now. Your problem is you worship your belly. Your feelings is your God. That's why you cry out to the Lord the way you do. Period. The end. All right.
Amen.
So let me say this. Okay, so let's go to all right, so we talk about and if let me just say this, if you think I'm going to give you any of these answers, you are tripping 100%. I ain't giving you nothing.
We
Yeah.
got
So
to go buy
let
the
me
book
just
for
show
I
you.
mean,
dummies. We got to go
we
buy
kind
the
of
book for dummies.
we did kind of talk. We talked about we mentioned Solomon and obviously Jesse mentioned John in Revelation, and then there was
Yeah,
somebody else,
so look,
Daniel.
your job individually is to go answer this question right here. Who hath laid the measures hold on a second, where am I at?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
5.
right. Yeah, okay. So it says, who hath laid the measures thereof, if thou knowest, or who hath stretched the line upon it? It is up to you individually to not know what the answer is, but go prove your work.
It's the
right?
spirit of
Jesse
God,
just
bro.
likes to say, Jesus, and like,
Well, we know
yeah.
it's Jesus, bro. Man, he
Well,
measured
okay,
everything from
look,
the
look,
foundation
That's
from
straight.
the
That's straight
beginning,
line,
hold
man.
bro.
on, hold on, hold on,
That's
hold on,
straight
Jesse. Look,
Bible.
hold on. Listen, we live on this side of the cross, so we already know it's Jesus. Like
Okay.
there's no surprise there. But I'm telling you, the important part is how did you get the answer is a very important part right there. It's not about knowing the answer. Now, to be saved, it is, but to move on to more perfect teachings, you have to understand how the
That
answer is
Bro,
Jesus.
foundation,
it's
how that
Isaiah. It's in
foundation was
Isaiah
laid.
40. If anybody wants to see it, it's in Isaiah 40, 9 through the whole rest of the chapter 31. It's talking about
All right,
the
so
word. It says the word of the Lord stands forever. So who is the word of the Lord?
Jesus.
And he's talking about, here is your God. And then he goes on, he says, oh, Zion, bringeth good things, yada, 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 the high mountains. And then he goes on, like, when he goes down to, like, verse 12, it says, who has measured the waters of the hollow of his hand and meted out heaven and with the span and comprehended the dust of the earth and the measure and weighed the mountains in scales and the hills in a
hey,
balance.
hold on, Dre. Who comprehends the dust of the earth? I thought the dust of the earth was self-explanatory. It's just
Exactly.
dust.
We
It's
know
just
exactly who the
dust,
dust of the earth is.
right? But no, but it says comprehend the
Right.
dust of the earth, meaning understand what is the dust of the earth. So when
Mm.
you hear people say things like, when you hear people say, Adam was made for the dust, man, you're just a worthless piece of dust, man, just some worthless clay. You are not comprehending what the dust of the earth is, my friend. No,
Yep. It's right there,
no.
bro. Verse 12 is clear. Like Isaiah 40, guys, verse 12. Read Isaiah 40, all of it. And it says, who has measured the waters in the hollow of his hand and meted out heaven with the span and comprehended the dust of the earth in a measure and weighed the mountains in scales and the hills in a balance? Who has directed the Spirit of the Lord, or being his counselor has taught him? Who, it says, taught him, with whom took he counsel, and who instructed him and taught him in path of judgment, and taught him knowledge, and shewed in him the way of understanding. Behold, the nations are a drop of a bucket, and are counted as a small dust in the balance. Behold, he has upped the isles as a very little thing. And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor beasts thereof sufficient for a burnt offering. All nations before him are nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. To whom then will ye liken God? So who measured everything?
All right, so everybody has to answer that question individually, right? Everybody's got to see if they understand the parable individually, because the Bible is one big parable, and you either know the answer or you don't. And the only way to know the answer is to plow with the heifer. That's the only way. There ain't no other way. There's only one way to know the answer, and that's for you to have the Holy Spirit, because no man can truly tell you the truth, but the Spirit can. And the way the Spirit reveals it is a way that you'll never forget it, right? Okay, so there's 5:6. He says, whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened, or who laid the cornerstone thereof? The cornerstone?
Mm.
Who laid the cornerstone? Says, when the morning stars sang together, and if you don't know what the stars are, you need to go study. When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy. And notice the question mark is after joy, right? So 6 and 7, I'm sorry, the end of 6 and 7 is still, it's a continuous, right? So actually, you could just put 6 and 7 together. That's fair. But it says, whereupon are the foundations therefore fastened, question mark, or who laid the cornerstone thereof when the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy? So it's a question that he's asking Job. And let me tell you, when people read this, They're just focused on God being sarcastic. So yeah, God's from Texas. He's very sarcastic. But these are questions that are really asked. These are real questions. And when you go study every one of these questions, it's remarkable. I studied every one of them. And in the book of Job, there are a lot. And I studied every one of them, not for anybody else, for myself. I didn't study them for anybody else. I studied them for myself. Now, does that mean we don't discuss them? No, we discuss them. Okay, we discuss them. But right now, I'm just going over them very slowly because the pace that I'm going over them, that's how I went over them. Real one at a time, bro. One at a time. And it's very time consuming. So only a person that has a heart of God would care to, quote unquote, waste their time on God. The truth is, people don't like wasting their time on God, to be honest with you. That's the truth. He's just a waste of time. Okay, so it says, and then we get to 8. He says, or who shut up the sea with doors when it brake forth as if it had issued out of the womb? Another question. Who? He's asking, who did this? When I made the cloud, the garment thereof, and thick darkness, and swaddling band for it. Jesus was wrapped in a swaddling cloth, right? Anybody?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It says, and break up for it my decreed place, and set bars and doors, comma, and said, hitherto shalt thou come, but no further, and here shall thy proud waves be stayed. Proud waves? Proud, Leviathan, father of pride, proud waves from the Leviathan. Oh, okay. Oh, he's getting somewhere. He says, hast thou commanded the morning since thy days, and caused the day spring to know his place, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth, that the wicked might be shaken out of it. It is turned as clay to the seal, and they stand as a garment. Hold on, where's the part where it says, give me a second. Oh, here's one of them right here. 17 says, have the gates of death been open unto thee? Or hast thou seen the doors of the shadow of death? Bro. Bro, I'm telling you, man, you need to go answer these questions. Remember, God's word doesn't come back void. He's not blowing smoke. These are real questions, dude. These are real questions. And I'm telling you, when you go study to find the answer, if you want to say God gave you a textbook to understand him a little bit more, man, it's in the questions that are not answered. It's in the questions that are not answered in the Old Testament, like Samson's question of the riddle. These questions right here, this book gives you the answer to every one of these questions. And if you want to have like a remarkable moment with just you and the Father in the secret place, how about this? Challenge God and say, all right, I'm going to try to find these answers. Oh, first of all, you're going to find them. But the challenge part of it is what's fun, because you're moving from faith to faith. You're showing yourself that the Spirit is true, the Spirit is faithful, and the way that you'll be revealed every one of these answers is just remarkable when you start going through the Scripture. So, and again, this is just 38, dude. He asked questions all in here, and but there was one specific one, and I thought it was in 38, and maybe it's not. I don't have them all memorized, but there is one that talks about the heart, and there's one that talks about honey. And I mean, dude, it'll blow your mind the way he's asking these questions to Job. Because at this point,
20
do what?
would 26 and 27 be the heart?
I don't know. Let me see. Let me go back. 26.
Yeah, verse.
Well, I stop around 23, maybe. Let me see. Okay, let's see. Who hath divided the water, lightning, thunder to cause it to rain on the earth? There no man is. Right there, it said, the wilderness, and there is no man. Look, here again, 26. Are you reading 38:26? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 26 says, to cause it. Hold on a second. Says to cause it to rain on earth where no man is, says on the wilderness wherein there is no man, to satisfy the desolate waste ground, and to cause the bud of the tender herb to spring forth. So where it says, I'm trying to find where the last comma or semicolon is. Okay, so it starts in 25. It says, who has divided the water course for the overflowing of waters, or a way for the lightning of thunder? And remember, the semicolon right there. To cause it to rain on earth where no man is, on the wilderness, comma, wherein there is no man, to satisfy the desolate and waste ground, semicolon, and to cause the bud of the tender herb to spring forth. Dude, if you're not understanding what that is saying, right there, you're blind. You still don't see. You need to understand what he's saying right here in 25, where he goes to 26 and it says to cause it to rain on earth. It says where no man is. How many times in the Bible does God constantly say he looked for a man, but he could not find one? He couldn't find one. And here he says, and watch this. He goes, where there is no man, and it's a semicolon. There is no man to satisfy the desolate and waste ground. To satisfy it?
It's like an oxymoron, because he's telling you there's no man, and then we know that Jesus, he calls him Christ the man. So it's like you start to wonder. He says, "Oh, okay. So how did God do this?" He's saying there is no man, and then we know Jesus is a man.
Well, we know that now.
Exactly.
Yeah, but what he's saying is he's talking about no fallen man, is what he's saying.
Exactly.
That's what man is referred to. Man is referred to fallen man. He doesn't have to say that. Again, everything is based on understanding the parable. So when you understand that all men have fallen under the first Adam, that's the man. He can't find one of those men. So when the last Adam came, the last Adam was God. He was not just a man the way people want him to be. He was not just a man. He was in the first of all, it says likeness of man. It doesn't say he was man. He was in the likeness of man, right? Just like when people say Jesus was bleeding blood, it doesn't say he was bleeding blood. Does anybody know what it says?
It says sweat.
It said it was like blood. His sweat was like blood.
Like blood. It doesn't say it was blood. It says it's like blood. When Jesus received the Spirit, it didn't say it was a dove. It says like.
It says it descended like a dove. A lot of people think it was an actual little bird that flew down and landed on his shoulder.
Likeness. Also, when people read, he came in the likeness of men, but people don't understand what that word likeness. Like when he says in the beginning, when he says Adam was created in the image and in the likeness. What is the likeness? The image is the physical. The likeness is the spiritual. People don't get it. They don't get it.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Jesse, the image and likeness of God were both perfect and spiritual.
Exactly. I
Okay,
agree with
so
you.
our image before we were born again, our image was not like God.
No, it's not. Exactly. We were
Right.
children
So
of the
so when
devil.
right, so when people are trying to gather an understanding on what the image and likeness of God, and they start, it's so easy. It's so, oh my God, it's so easy. You know, when you tell someone, so people will come into agreement with you. Okay, they'll come into agreement with you and say, "Oh, well, you have the spirit part, the born again part," but they want to believe 100% that because you got 5 fingers and you look a certain way, that's the image. That's the image. No, my friend, the image, the image is God's heart. Don't you
Mm.
understand? The image
Amen.
is God's heart.
The
Period.
pureness.
The end.
The
So our
pureness.
body is not the image of God until you become born again. Now, our physical body is still not redeemed. I don't know what's so hard about this. I don't know what's the only reason that this becomes a debate and an argument is because people who are claiming they are familiar with the Bible are not telling the truth. I'm not saying they're doing it on purpose. I'm saying they're not as familiar with the Bible as they think. I've done this for too long, and I've seen it too many times where the same scriptures get brought up, the same argument, it never ends. And it's because nobody is going to Job and answering all these questions. They're not doing it. All they're doing is reading scripture and the other way. They're just understanding the stories more and more and more, and they stop getting familiar with the Bible. They stop. You can't stop. It doesn't end with the stories. It doesn't end there. You know how many people I've asked, hey, man, have you answered all these questions? No, you don't have to do that. Okay. Okay. All right. My bad, bro. Good talk. That was a good talk there. My bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, you do. You better find every question in the Bible and you better answer it because the image and likeness of God is such a kindergarten topic. It's like water baptism. It's such a kindergarten topic. So when people are in agreement with the born again part and they still don't understand, you know how you know they don't understand because they disagree with you. They'll say, "Well, we're supposed to disagree." No. You disagree that the argument is no. There's a difference here, and here they go. They're going to go to the Hebrew. They're going to look at the Hebrew, and they're like, right here, you don't know the Hebrew. I know it. No, you don't read the Bible with your heart. Because if you understood, you would know that the image of God is his heart. And for you to say, whoever you are, for you to say that we are the image of God, then that means Jesus wasn't. If we are already the image of God, then how is Jesus the image of God if we're already the image of God? Anybody?
Amen.
You're talking about prior. I'm assuming you want to
It's
know
not.
the answer prior to salvation and the
It's not
redemption
possible.
of no longer being
I'm talking about
desolate
prior,
or
before.
after. No,
No, I'm
prior.
talking to,
It's not
no,
possible.
listen.
That's what it
No.
says.
Hold on, Jesse. I'm talking about when Jesus was 30 years old. Here's my question. Was he the image of God?
Yeah.
I'm asking Jesse. Jesse,
G-
was
Oh,
Jesus
sorry.
the image of God at 30 years old?
at 30 years old, Jesus was. I'm gonna say yes. I'll take a
Okay, let
thousand
me ask you
for
this.
a
All right,
thousand for
okay,
yes.
hold on. Jess, okay, you said yes. All right, so let me ask you this. Was there another human on earth that was the image of God before Jesus?
No, because there was no redemption yet. They were all desolate.
Again, instead of trying to break it down, let's keep the answer simple. So the Bible tells us that Jesus was the image of the invisible God. Yes?
Yes, it does.
So it's a yes or no.
Yes,
There's a yes or no.
that's
At
a
that
yes.
time, no, I know. I'm talking about this next part.
Oh,
Was there another human that was the image of God?
At that time, according to the scriptures, it would have been Abraham, but he failed. He became
Oh my
desolate.
goodness.
Oh, well, then I'm wrong. Don't ask me the question. You're asking the wrong person.
All
I'm
right,
just,
fine.
at that
The
time,
answer is
no,
no.
Adam
The answer is
before.
no.
no, because he says that's right, because he kept saying there is no man. There is no man. Exactly.
Exactly. There is
Exactly.
no man.
There is
There
no
is no
man.
man. Remember,
Exactly.
there's only two. There's only two that was created directly from God's heart. It was the first Adam
And the
and the
last.
last Adam.
Exactly.
That's
I
it.
was,
The only
mhm.
difference is that Adam was a man and Jesus was God. But the point is, their physical body was the image of God because it
Yes.
was the image is God's heart. That's the image. And so Jesus was the image of God. So when people say, no, you don't understand, image and likeness are two different things. Oh, my Lord, have mercy. That's not even the debate. The debate is very simple. When people say that God looks just like us and da da da, you can play around with that all you want to. Hold on a second. You can play around with that all you want to, but it's going to come down to one simple question. You can sit there and say, no, you don't understand. Listen, I do understand. Please, people, you need to stop embarrassing yourself and telling people they don't understand when you don't understand what they're saying. It boggles my mind how people fight with each other and they don't even understand what the other person is saying. So what we're supposed to do is we don't understand what other people are saying. So we're supposed to tell them that they don't know what they're saying. And you don't even understand what they're saying, but you tell them that they don't know. Oh man, dude, it's crazy, dude. That's why I tell y'all, learn to shut up. Do yourself a favor. Just, I'm telling you, run away from it, man. Run away. Don't think, oh, well, let me pull out the scriptures. Oh my God. Jerry Springer show all over again for the 1 millionth time. You're not going to stop the Jerry Springer show. You're not going to stop it.
Jerry.
Yeah, you're not going to stop it, man. So do yourself a favor. Keep a friend. Tell people, hey, you know what? I'm your friend, bro. Can we just stay right there? And I don't matter if they understand that or not. If they are a type of person that likes to keep friends, they'll let it go. Okay, and y'all can talk about it a different day, but I'm telling you right now, that whole conversation is just,
Bro, I heard somebody try to say that Jesus was in heaven in full human form for all eternity.
Say it again.
I heard somebody say that Jesus was in full human form, like his nature of humanity in heaven, like in flesh for all eternity.
Whatever happened to the glorified body, huh?
I don't know that
They didn't
He's
kind of
restore
gonna
blew
our
my
bear
heaven.
the
mind because
scars.
I thought the Bible said that flesh and blood should not inherit the kingdom of heaven. So I was a little confused about that.
Yeah, well, there again. So this is again one of those topics that people are going to go to 5 scriptures, right? And they're not understanding the scripture with their heart. I mean, oh my Lord, dude. That's why I'm saying again. Most people that make these kind of comments, they're claiming. Understand, they are literally making a claim that they are familiar with the Bible. That's what they're saying. And then when you see like some of the things that they're saying, you're like, bro. like Paul telling the people that were teaching how to be under the law, and Paul's like, man, y'all ain't even doing that right. Like, man, you're claiming that you're familiar with the scriptures to the point where you can teach the law, and you're not. And that's just the law. That wasn't even the spiritual side. And Paul's like, man, you're not even teaching that right, man. Like, Lord have mercy. So,
Lord
but
of mercy.
but if you cannot do what was that?
He said flip saying, Lord of mercy.
Lord have mercy. Yeah, but answering the questions that's in Job, I'm telling you, man, you want your eyes to continue to be, to continue to see. Think about what the Bible tells us on how the prophets wish they could see and hear what people on this side of the cross see and hear. And now that you have the Spirit, now you can see and hear. And you're not answering these questions in the book of Job? You
Yeah.
want to
So
see? You want to
this was
hear? Oh,
the comment. Sorry, Trout. The comment exactly. I had to write it down. It said will Jesus has maintained his human nature, basically flesh, for all eternity in
So
heaven.
that means that if he maintained his human nature for all eternity, that means that when Paul speaks in First Corinthians chapter 15, that he's talking about the transformation, the incorruptible to corruptible and all that good stuff. So we got to throw that. I'm just going to throw that whole
I
chapter
mean,
away then.
the reality is
Let's
Oh
just throw it
my
he
goodness.
away.
wasn't he wasn't even like when
His
Christ
flesh
came
was
back
not
down.
corrupted though.
When Christ came back down, he didn't even come back in like regular flesh form. He was
Exactly.
walking through walls and stuff, bro. So
Exactly.
that's not even a little bit correct.
Because they're not understanding that it goes from the spiritual to the physical back to the spiritual again. They're not getting it. They're not getting it. They need to go back to Genesis. They're not getting it.
Hey, didn't Jesus ask a question about that? Something about that, about flesh and bone? Because he said flesh and bone or something.
He said flesh and blood shall not inherit the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, but when he came back, he said he told the doubter, flesh and bone. He said, check and see. Look, this is flesh and bone or something. But he didn't say nothing about blood.
Right. So it
You
wasn't
mean
like
Timothy,
regular. He's talking about when he came down and
doubting
then showed
Thomas.
his yeah.
Doubting Thomas. Yeah, Thomas.
Yeah, but that was a glorified body, bro. That wasn't like a regular human body.
Yeah, he was
Right,
already
right, right.
glorified when he spoke.
That's what
When
I'm
he
saying.
allowed Thomas to touch him, he was already glorified. Prior to that, which is really amazing, when he saw the disciples, that he gave the Spirit to them. And then that's before that, he didn't allow the two Marys to touch him.
Yeah, I have no qualms with that. I know that the Lord is that spirit, and where the spirit of the Lord is, there's liberty. So I
Does
know
Jesus
who he is and what he is.
does Jesus get a glorified body?
CJ, are you asking that question?
Didn't he already have a glory? Did he sit? He didn't.
Jesus never sinned, but are you confusing that the physical body that
No,
died on that cross?
no.
Oh, okay, okay,
No, I'm just
okay.
wondering, like, what? Just trying to understand the thought process.
Or are you just being the devil's advocate?
No, no, I don't think.
Listen, guys, God hated Esau, okay? Just remember that. Moving on.
Yeah.
He
that's right.
loved me, but
White
he
man
hated
Yeah.
you,
is the
Dre. He
devil.
hated you and he
Oh my
loves
lord.
me.
Esau
He's
was red all
joking.
over,
He's
man.
joking. Yo, careful. 5 minutes. You can get booted.
Oh my, yeah.
What did he say? 5 minutes? What?
He said you're gonna get
Man,
booted.
it must be 1,000 degrees out here today. Lord have mercy. Humidity must
Hey,
be at
Well, hold on,
100.
hey,
Jesse.
whoa. Are you
Hold
cursing
on,
the Lord
Jesse.
for how
There
hot
is
it
no
is?
way it's 1,000 degrees, Jesse. There's no way.
I know, but it feels like it's 1,000. The humidity itself is like, well, this is unbelievable. Lord, thank
No,
you for
flip.
this humidity.
Yeah. So, has anybody been scrolling Job and you found a good question in there?
Oh, let's find a good question.
Yeah. It
All
says,
over.
he says, who is
Where you
it
at?
thou? It
Where
says,
you
I
at?
think
Where you at?
it's chapter 52. It says, verse 52 3, it says, who is thou that has the Lamb of God with 7 horns and 7 eyes?
Job
What?
doesn't have
Yeah.
chapter
Yeah.
52, bro. What are you
What?
He
talking
said
about?
chapter 52. This guy. He said chapter 52. This guy
He
over here.
said.
This guy.
He said in chapter
I mean, there's
52, it
42.
says, who is the Lamb that has 7 eyes and 7 horns?
No, don't say that.
Who is the angel that steps to his feet?
Oh,
No.
I like where he says, "Can you put a reed through his nose?" Come on, let's put a reed through your nose, Dre.
Oh my.
God.
Listen, go eat the scroll so you can be holy.
Oh my goodness.
Can you put a reed through his nose? Will he speak softly to you? Will he make a covenant with you?
Hey, Trey. I mean, Dre. Yeah, Dre and the little guy. Now, what's his name? Trot. Isaiah 7.
What?
As,
Isaiah.
I want to go to
yeah,
Luke. I mean, Leviticus. I want to hit the oil, but we'll do that tomorrow.
Isaiah 7. I wanted to see, I figure maybe 13 to 16 or
Bro,
17.
let's real quick
16.
before we go there. There is 48 questions in the book of Job that God
I'm,
asks.
I'm
48
saying
questions. Y'all can't
Bill
come up
could
with one.
Bill couldn't find one before he went to Isaiah. That's why I
Oh,
was
we were.
like,
Hey,
hold
what'd you
I
on,
thought
say?
wait.
we
Hey,
were
what'd you say?
done
There's
because
48
we were
questions.
talking about
Yeah, there's 48
humility and other
questions.
stuff. I thought we were done.
No, Trot said
You
more questions, bro, in the book
you
of
mean
Job.
48 chapters? This
No,
guy.
there's 48 questions. 48 questions.
Are you sure?
It says there are approximately 48 questions between chapter 37 and 38 in the book of Job.
Yeah, but there's more than 48 questions in the
It's just
book of
between,
Job.
yeah, between
Yeah,
those
okay, I
two
see what you're
chapters.
saying. Yeah, that might
Is
be
that
right.
including? Is that including his friends? The questions his friend gave.
Look, like verse like 16, 37, 16. It says, doeth thou know the balances of the clouds and the wondrous works which is perfect in knowledge? Somebody tell me how we balance clouds, please. Anybody?
Buoyancy.
Okay,
No,
anybody
no,
tell me how we
no.
balance clouds?
Well,
Uh,
they're flat, so it's
Oh
just
my
an
goodness.
eye
Oh,
illusion.
oh
oh,
my goodness. Oh my
That's
oh.
a
goodness.
lot of questions there, bro. Look, I'm gonna read a couple of
I
them. It
got
says,
one.
doeth thou know when God disposes them and causes the light of his clouds to shine? Doeth thou know the balances of the cloud and the wondrous works of which is perfect in knowledge? How thy garments are warm when he quieteth the earth by the south wind. Hast thou with him spread out the sky which is strong and is molded looking glass? Oh my goodness, bro, that's a lot of questions. I'm gonna have to write down 48 questions.
That's a loaded
I got
question, huh?
A quick question. Now we're looking for the questions that
Wait,
God
CJ was trying
gave,
to jump in.
or all the questions in Job, including his friends.
Well, for you, Bill, every question in the Bible, 66 books. What were you saying, CJ?
Job 39,
You know, I could stay home and
verse
get the
5.
abuse from my wife. I don't need to come here and receive it
Oh,
either.
oh my.
He said, I
We're
stay
going
Why you
we're
come
going
here,
through the
right? Because
questions of
you're a
God
glutton for
that God asked
punishment,
Job.
Bill. What your wife, the chancleta she gives you is not enough.
Bill, tell me about the unicorn.
You
Bill,
come here
tell me
because
about
you
the
like it,
unicorn.
Bill.
Yeah, he's a masochist. Bill, tell us about the unicorn in Job.
Dre, he likes that song from what's her name? That Puerto Rican singer. Me gusta, como me gusta, me gusta. Irichacón.
Oh, I don't listen to worldly music, Jesse.
I
Sorry.
but listen,
Neither
that's
do
a
I.
song.
Yeah.
He knows what
All
that
right, all
is.
right.
Never
Job
watched that
39,
show on
5.
Channel 47 in my life.
Bro, CJ, just talk hard over everybody, bro. They're not gonna let you
Sorry,
talk, bro. They're Puerto Rican. Just go.
let me say it with my chest. Job 30, Job 39, 5 says, "Who hath sent out the wild ass free? Or who hath loosed the bands of the wild ass? Whose
Oh
house
my God,
I
you want
have
Jesse to
made
laugh, don't you?
the wilderness now, and the barren land his dwellings. He scorneth the multitude of the city, regardeth neither regardeth he the crying of the driver. The range of the mountains is his pasture, and he searcheth after every green thing."
What was the address on that, CJ, again, please? 39,
Job
you said?
39, 5, 5
39.
to 8.
Hey, let me go to it. Because you had like a big truck ride behind you. I don't know where you're at, like if you're in a construction site or something, but a minute there, we couldn't hear you.
Oh,
Where is King James? I'm gonna just go to Amplified because Trot is playing games
I
with
got
these
one.
questions, bro.
Job 24. And it says, why are not times of judgment kept by the Almighty? And why do those who know him never see his days?
Bill, how you gonna do
Hey,
CJ like
Bill.
that, bro? Like you just gonna do CJ dirty like that, bro? He just finished.
Oh, CJ
All
was
right, bro.
talking? I'm sorry, my bad. I don't even
Yeah,
see CJ up here.
we haven't answered CJ yet, or they haven't
Yeah.
answered CJ yet.
Hey,
Hey,
man.
hey,
CJ,
Bill.
CJ, I'm sorry, brother. I'm
Sorry,
sorry,
Bill.
I can't hear
Hey,
you.
Bill. Bill, that question that you're asking, who's asking the question, Job or God?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right, CJ, what were you saying?
I'm gonna read it and amplify what he just read for
Ooh.
us. It says, "Who sent out the wild donkeys free from dependence on man? Who has loosened the bonds of the wild donkey to survive in the wild? To whom I gave the wilderness as his home and the salt land as his dwelling place. He scorns the tumult of the city and does not hear the shouting of the taskmaster. He explores the mountains as his pasture and searches after every green thing. Money. Green thing is money. I got that part.
Every green
It's
thing.
money, the
Hey,
dollar.
what was that? Job 38, what?
39,
39, 5
5,
through 8.
8.
Oh, 39, 5 through 8.
Yep.
Who has
All
set the
right.
wild donkey free? Who has loosened the bonds of the donkey? Wild donkey. That's a good question, bro. I have no idea.
I like when God
First,
asked Job in 37:21, even now man cannot look at the light when it is bright in the sky,
To
when the winds
whom?
have
There goes
passed
another
and
Puerto
cleared
Rican just
them.
to completely just ignoring where we're at.
No, I'm not ignoring where you guys are at. I was just adding another one. When you're done, you can go to that one. There's no,
no,
you know.
Jess, you're supposed to wait till we're done and then you bring that one up.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
You just write a note, like right in front of you, like, I don't want to forget this. So this is the address. Whenever they're done, I'm bringing this one up.
Bro, I know the process,
When
but I
does the
didn't follow
bilingual
Okay,
it.
okay.
class
I was
But
start?
like,
I didn't
when did
follow it. It's another
when did
thing.
the
But I know the
oh,
bilingual
my bad. I
class
didn't
process.
know. I
start?
didn't know you do. Okay, sorry.
These old
I know
Puerto
the
Bill.
Ricans
process.
from
I might have
Esau
not
class. What's wrong with y'all,
followed
man?
it, but I know the process.
Okay. I was making sure. Hey, so
Esto
first,
boricua
go
no hacen caso.
look up CJ. Go look up donkey and see if it's a
Okay.
male or a female.
To whom, to whom I gave the wilderness as his home and the salt land as his dwelling place. Let me see.
KJV, you know that uses. Okay.
Whew. Man, this Joe making my head hurt, bro.
I'm going to tell you
Yeah. Well,
something.
I
He
mean,
has a lot of the answers, a lot of questions. We just really have always read it, like Trot says, the wrong way. Poor Job, and God took everything away from him, but then he blessed him again. Sow that seed so that you
Hasha.
can receive that blessing.
No, my. Okay, 39, 5.
Hawk said it's a female.
Oh my goodness.
Hulk was way faster than me.
Ooh, look at that airplane. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Oh
mine says masculine,
yeah. I'm gonna tell you what mine says right now. The wild
but feminine
ASS.
probably.
The wild ASS is H501. H6501, sorry, 6501. It says a wild ASS for, the children in the room. And it says, wow, that's also called from running. It's a swift animal. It's in Genesis.
hey Dre, did you get the text message I sent you like 30 seconds ago?
Nah, bro, I ain't been looking at my phone, bro. To be honest, I've been pulling a trot. Oh, look, we got people trying to come up and everything.
Can you read
Oh,
your text message, please?
Did we
yes.
do 38, 6 and 7?
If you brought it up, no, we did not.
Says it's masculine in Job 39, 5.
Yeah, got you, bro. I got the text message.
All right.
Is that
So,
what yours?
Job
Did we
38. Let me
39, 5.
see.
38, 5, 6, and 7, I think. Oh, no, 6 and
39,
7.
So the
39,
wild.
5.
Are you looking at wild ass?
Yeah.
So it says a wild ass of a man, Ishmael, as a free nomad. So if you go to the root word, which is 1805a, it says where it's not telling me if it's a male or a female, bro. To be honest with you.
Mine's saying H. So I'm looking at. I can't show you, I guess. I'm looking at the Blue Letter Bible, though. It's a little easier.
That's where
I,
that's where
I
I'm at
don't,
too.
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
can't,
So
I
this
have
is
a hard
where
time with the blue leather.
this is where I'm at. It's saying it says the root is actually H6500. But
H65.
if I go down to the Strong's, it says it's noun masculine specifically in Job 39:5, and then it's masculine and feminine in Jeremiah 2. But we're not talking about Jeremiah, so
Context, it's masculine.
yeah. Male
Y'all figured it
donkey,
out yet?
male.
Y'all figure it
I'm
out?
going with male.
Answer,
We can go to the root though if you want.
use a
Primitive
lifeline.
verb.
Do you want to use one of your 3 lifelines?
It comes from the word to bear fruit and be fruitful. That's the root word.
Bro, I can't find if it's a male or a female. Try honestly. Oh, it says masculine, but it says there's a masculine singular, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the donkey is an actual male. I
Oh,
would think so. I don't necessarily because that's the root word, which is to bear fruit, be fruitful, is a masculine singular, not necessarily the wild ass per se.
right.
It happens 9 times in the Bible. Job has a couple of wild asses. And then Jeremiah, it says, a wild ass used to the wilderness. A wild ass used to the wilderness that snuffeth up the wind at her pleasure. So it's a she. If you look at Jeremiah 2:34,
Yeah.
then it would be a her, according to Jeremiah 2:34. I mean 2:24, sorry.
Okay, so the one in Jeremiah that you're talking about, what's the numbers for that one?
Same 6501.
Yeah.
Okay, now remember, if you haven't noticed, in 39 or Job 39, where it's talking about it should be it's 2 different donkeys, right? It should be 2 different words. Have y'all noticed that yet?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
that's why we're
all right,
confused.
okay.
Say one more again. What'd you say?
Two different
So
donkeys.
it's 2 different donkeys, right? So like 539:5, it says, "Who hath sent out the wild ass?" That first ass is
Oh
a
yeah, yeah.
different
See,
Hebrew word than the second one.
yeah. One is pereh, and the other one is ador, arod. A road is the same as 6166, an ongoner of a lonesome, his lonesome.
Those,
So the second one is a male, and the first one is a female.
those are both.
Well, y'all just let me know when y'all figured it out, 'cause I ain't saying nothing.
It's both.
What?
Wait,
It's
what?
both.
What do you mean
I
it's
said
both?
it's both.
Elaborate.
Bro, what
Elaborate.
kind of transgender stuff you got going on? What are we talking
Go.
about? It's both.
The first one, I'm saying the first one is a female and the second one is a male.
He took those
Oh,
pronouns
yeah, yeah, yeah,
seriously,
yeah, yeah,
Dre.
yeah,
Dre,
yeah.
he took those pronouns seriously.
Yeah.
Oh,
The first one is wisdom, which is going to lead to bearing fruit, and the second one is hidden, like how Adam and Eve hid themselves. Uh, his bands is being loosed.
All right, so let's say that it's true, right? Well, first of all, what's the conclusion? Let me
The
ask
first
that.
one is a female, the second one is a male, bro.
Okay, so why?
Because Jesus says so.
Oh, okay, that's the answer. All right.
I go with that answer too.
Who are we to question Jesus?
Yeah, there you go. Who
I'm
are
but a
we?
simple man.
I'm just dust of the earth, from
I
ashes
am
to
the least
ashes.
of the Trinitarians.
I am the
I am the.
least.
I am
He said
currently the
Trinitarian.
last. All right.
This guy right here, man.
So it says, who has sent out the wild ass free, and who has loosened the bands of the wild ass? Mm.
Right. So the question is, who has sent out the wild ass free, or who hath loosed the bands of the wild ass?
So the first half like is talking about wisdom, and would that match up
I'm
with
just gonna
whom the
say.
son?
This. The key words for the first half is free, and the key word for the second half is loosed.
Yeah. So the second half is set the captives free.
Maybe,
Yeah,
could be. I don't know. Is it?
whom the son sets free
Who's
is
the only
free
one people
indeed.
that can free us?
Whom the
And
son
who's the
sets
only one
free
that
is
can
free
loosen
indeed.
the bondage of whatever we're bound to?
Thanks, Jesse.
Jess, Hey,
Thanks,
from
Jesse.
here on out, Jess, I don't want to hear the
Whatever.
answer no more. If you cannot lead us to the
God,
answer, you cannot
no,
give us
man.
the answer.
I'm not gonna give you the answer. I'm gonna let you search it out. It is your responsibility to go search it out.
Holy crap.
Jess, you screamed the answer without giving any homework, like any
Bro,
work
because
at all on how you got
listen,
the answer.
I'm I'm dyslexic, so everything is
Listen to
backwards. So
this. Oh,
I'll give you
I'm
the answer
sorry.
Oh,
Are we
first, and then you go
okay,
search
victimizing?
it
okay.
out.
Are we the victim? I'm sorry. I apologize.
Woe is
Oh
me,
my.
woe is me.
With an
Just
Old
playing
Testament
with you
of the
guys.
wild donkey has come like the promise of the literal freedom of the angel declared to Ishmael, whom
So
become a wild donkey.
In Jeremiah 2:24 it says, "A wild donkey used to the wilderness in her heat, sniffing the wind. Who can restrain her lust? None who seek her need weary themselves. In her month they will find her."
Yeah, that's what Dre
what does
read.
it say? What will find her?
They
No, before that. Read the last sentence again. The last sentence.
says, "None who seek her need weary themselves. In her
Right
month
there.
they
Right there. Right there. Need not weary themselves. And what's after that?
in her month they will find her."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
If
rest.
any of you lack wisdom, let them ask of God, who gives
So the
All
first
right.
one is
liberally.
So
rest.
okay. So well, I mean, again, you just got one breadcrumb extra, right?
Yep.
So it says, "Who hath sent out the wild ass free, or who hath loosed the bands of the wild ass?" Right. So we know the answer, but that's not the point of this. The point, first of all, the Bible's very clear. Okay, Jesus was the Messiah. So we got the answer. Hold on a second, man. Trot.
What the heck is that noise? Somebody has a mouse in their computer, in their phone.
CJ,
It's
you're
me.
feeding your baby?
No, I'm playing on my laptop.
Oh.
Just wanted him to
Instead of
figure it.
scrolling through scriptures, you're playing on your laptop.
Whom the
Oh my
son
What's
lord.
sets
wrong with
Oh
you?
my.
free.
Oh my. Obviously, in the scripture.
Free.
I'm looking for. Oh, that's. Duh.
Cap, you ain't looking for nothing.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. was not true. All right. Sent. Sent. Half sent out. It's a phrase.
The
Let
commentary
go,
here,
stretch out, to send. What?
All right,
the
what'd y'all figure out?
here says, accustomed to the desert, wild donkeys do not stay in one place. The animal represents the faithless Judah, who is fickle in her commitment.
Send messenger. I like
Did we
that.
cross
Man,
reference? Did we cross
how'd
reference
y'all
that
get to
with?
Judah?
Did we cross
Judah.
reference that with
Who
with
Bro,
said
do
Judah?
we
John?
have to come back to donkeys tomorrow because it's already 10 o'clock?
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
just got one
Who?
quick
What y'all?
question.
Y'all didn't get it.
Wait, who said
What?
Did
Judah?
we cross
Somebody, I
reference
heard Judah.
Job 24:5? Indeed, like wild donkeys in the desert,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
poor go to the work. Okay.
That's
Now
like
the
three
question
times now.
is this Burak, which was Muhammad's donkey that can fly, or is this just a regular wild donkey?
Wait, was this the donkey that could
Oh,
talk?
in the wisdom words of Trot. Oh golly.
Yeah, the only reason why the Islamic believers put in there that Muhammad rode a donkey is because Balaam's donkey spoke, and they're like, well, if theirs speaks, ours is gonna fly.
Oh yeah, he had a 12V motor in his butt, and he flew all the way to the seventh heaven.
Go.
That guy was bad. That's a bad donkey right there, boy.
Fly
Hey,
like a donkey
hey, that word
into the
free,
sea.
that word free at the end of the first of verse 5, part of it means free from taxes or obligations. So,
All right, so obviously we're gonna pick up on this to Mary, and let's see, was that Russell? Oh, that's Tiger Woods. Russell, we say Trot. Please explain it because oh man, we're gonna pick it up tomorrow, bro. So that means everybody's got homework. Okay, everybody's got homework to do. So
Hey,
we're
look,
just so you
trot
know,
donkey.
the address is 39. Okay, Job 39, verse 5.
Hey, trot
Job
gonna turn into one
39.
of them Pentecostal televangelists. Hey, if you want to come and get the answer, come back to church tomorrow so that I can go.
Now that's what they say.
Or sow your
The
seed.
evangelist says, come back tomorrow so you can get the answer. I say, come back tomorrow with the answer.
Amen.
You have to trust the spirit.
Go into your
Trust
secret
the
place.
spirit.
That's right. Y'all
Take it
better
That's
to the
right.
trust the
Lord.
female donkey. Trust the female donkey.
Hmm.
Trust the female donkey. Yeah, for
You're in
real.
trouble.
Hola, mañana a las 9 de la mañana vamos a estar estudiando Job, capítulo 39, versículo 5. Traiga la contesta.
Hey, if you're going to speak in tongues in this live, you need to bring an interpreter. Let me see. The dog ate my homework. Oh, my Lord. Already? God. Ate your homework?
She don't got dogs, she got cats. You meant your cat ate
Golly.
your
And she's
homework.
lying. Oh, my
You
Lord. Have
see how
mercy.
the
Jesus.
female donkey reveals the truth?
Oh, my Lord. Have mercy.
Did you just call me a female donkey?
Hey,
Didn't
listen.
Nebuchadnezzar dwell with wild donkeys too?
All right. So, hey, Benny, what's up, man? You gonna find that answer tomorrow or what?
I'm
Benny
already
probably
on
already
top
has
of it.
it.
I got it.
I was just gonna say Benny already has it.
Benny said, I already got it. Hey, I'm going to say
Benny's
this.
no joke.
Hey, now listen, I'm going to say this. There are plenty
How
times
much do I gotta pay
that
you to give me the answer?
you
Can I
gotta, hey,
copy
you
off
gotta
of your
plow.
homework? Can I
No, you
copy
gotta
off?
plow. No, you're gonna have to plow with somebody's heifer, man, to get the answer, or just
Yeah,
plow with
I
your own.
know. Can
All
I
right,
copy off of your answer?
God Almighty.
gotta look off
Hey,
your
just
test.
hey, just remember, if you think you got it, okay, if you think you got it, it's still
You don't. No.
possible. It's still, yeah. If you think you got it, you don't. No. If you think you got it, it is still possible that it's possible that there is something you didn't study, excuse me, to give you the entire answer. So you might have part of it, okay, but You might not have the whole thing. And I'll say this. If you're focused on root words, if you don't go study a lot of them and you just study 2, then you could miss it, because remember, all the quote unquote root words, they all have to be used to like to have like this common denominator between all of them. And so for instance, if the word was day, I'm just making up, it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But if you go look up the word day and you go look it up 10 times and you're like, oh yeah, that's talking about a physical day. If you don't understand who Jesus is, then all you see is a physical day, obviously. So there are some other things that have to be understood before certain things are seen. It is true, period. So just make sure, if you think like, okay, no, I got this, you might want to go do a little bit more. Now, check this out. If the truth that you have is the truth, right? All the other studying is going to do is strengthen it. That's all it's going to do. That's it. But if it starts leading you away from what you think is true, that means it's leading to something else. So,
Scott, could you repeat the question for the people in the chat?
Nope.
Basically,
Check
the
the
question
YouTube.
is this. Job, yeah, go to YouTube. Yeah, so Job 39, verse 5. Explain it. That's the homework. Explain Job 39, 5.
We want the
Explain
full
it.
revelation. We want all of the meat. Give us
Well, I
the
mean,
full meat.
yeah, give what you can, put it that way. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it tomorrow morning when we come up. So Job 39,
Yeah.
5.
I'm
Bring
gonna
it
text you
in.
my answer, Trot.
Anybody in the huh?
I'm gonna text you my answer.
What?
Text in your answers,
All right.
everybody.
Well, I'm not texting you a yes or a no back.
Okay. I got you, big dog.
I got to drop, guys. God bless. Love you all.
All right. Anyway, anybody got anything to
morning.
say on the? Anybody got anything to say before we hop off?
Oh yeah, thanks for dropping by last night,
Mike,
brother, and blessing us. We appreciate it. Thanks,
yeah,
Sean.
thank you.
Hey, Mike said, if we get it right, do we get pizza?
Pizza.
Pizza Hut.
I mean,
for
I'm
real.
down. I like pizza.
Yeah. Does anybody got anything to say? Jess?
Yeah, I said thank you for stopping by last night, brother.
No,
we appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Hey, Bill, we heard you, Bill. I'm seeing if anybody else got anything to say. Anybody else got anything to say? No? That's it?
Who has
Fly,
stretched
donkey,
out the line
fly.
upon it? That's all I'm
Fly,
going to say.
donkey, fly.
All right, guys. If you
Charlie Mike until Jesus comes back.
Charlie Mike, that's right. All right, we will see y'all in the morning. God bless.
Amen, amen. God bless, God bless.